Holy shit. I'm live. I wonder who's going to be in here first. I don't know. Oh, banner. I see how you do a banner. I don't see any concurrent viewers. Howard Clegg, you look at you in here first. John D. Nicola, you missed it by a second. Howard Clegg, guess what you get to see first? Look at that head. Would you? Would you just look at it? Would you just look at it? Look at it, Howard Clegg. You're the first person to see it. Don't let anybody else look at that head. Don't do it, Howard Clegg. It's all your head. Oregon Rogue, good to see you. Yes, hit the like button, folks. I'm going to put an invite up. If you want to come up onto the StreamYard, come up at any time. And I would like my mods to continue to type that StreamYard in there so that we can get people in here. Yes, John D. Nicola, I saw that. Rogue Nation, I was in there. Well, I was in there early, but then I left. I didn't say anything, but thank you very much, John D. Nicola, for getting the word out. I saw that Joe Cool was also in there, and Joe Cool said, no, you got to understand. John D. Nicola didn't explain himself right. John D. Nicola was on his way out when he mentioned me, but Joe Cool, he explained a little bit more. And I got a couple people. I got a couple people that come to my channel, and one or two of them subscribed, and they told me, "Hey, I was mentioned on Rogue Nation's show by John D. Nicola and Joe Cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate it." All right, we're going to wait for a few more minutes until people get in here. Get your coffee, get your tea, get your beer, get your liquor, get your weed. Oregon Road, good to see you. Jack Off Jack, how are you doing? And the Thin Blue Line Slayer is in here. That's my man. That's my boy. That's my homeboy, man. Well, I've got some things to go over with you. More to go over with the Magistrate Mitchell. Magistrate Mitchell, are you watching? Brittany Puckett, DA, are you watching? Trooper Jones, are you watching? Ricky Bobby Sue Jones and Miss Fuckett Puckett. Fuck it, she says. If you want to come up on the StreamYard, come on up. And I'm going to review my latest motions. I was pissed the other day when I was on here last 2 Fridays ago. I was pissed and I was emotional about the circuit court judge turning down my motion to disqualify the magistrate and the district attorney from prosecuting me. I was pissed and I was venting. But he didn't have all the evidence. He didn't have the video. I didn't want to give him the video at that time. I wanted to see if he would protect his magistrate buddy of 47 years. Magistrate of 47 years, probably his buddy for just about the same. The circuit court judge. So, now it's moving on to the new offensive, because I'm attacking. That's the way you do these motherfuckers that do you dirty. The police, the prosecutor, and the judge, you have to fucking fight like it's your life, because it is your life. And if you're acting pro se, all the better, because an attorney will not do this for you. An attorney will not file motions to dismiss based upon these premise, because they have to deal with the attorneys and the judge and other cases. They don't want to ruin their reputation over you. So I guess I don't know if I want to create a banner or not, but if you want to get up on the StreamYard, it's right here. I'd like for my mods to continue to copy and paste that into the chat. So if you want to come on to the show, oh, there's Thin Blue Line Slayer right there. Thin Blue Line Slayer, good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too, brother. I'm here. Let's do this. Let's attack.
I didn't see you pop
up.
I
love to it. I love to attack. I love to attack. I stay on the offense.
Yes. Stay on the offense. Thin Blue Line Slayer
right.
and I've been through a lot together. Both of us have had legal cases, and both of us have had each other's back, along with all of you, Johnny DeCola and Jack Off Jack and Oregon Rogue and all you people that have collaborated with us to handle our cases and expedite them to a positive conclusion. I don't know if it's expedited in this one, but
well, like I said, they got a grudge against you. They really got something against you, man.
Yeah, it's been 1 year, 7 months.
Whatever.
Yeah, well.
See, I think
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's it should be done. It should be ended. That should be it. I mean, there's really no evidence against you. There's nothing that they can really say that makes you guilty. So, I like I always tell you, they're gonna do what they want to do because that's what they do. It doesn't matter if you're innocent or not. They're gonna do what they want to do just because they don't like you. But you still gotta fight,
You gotta fight. You got to be in their face. You got to publish. You got to do what your rights are to do, including calling these motherfuckers dirty names. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. They're right, motherfucker.
George Carlin once said, if you call somebody a motherfucker, that shows that you are living in an entirely higher level of existence. Like you're better than everybody for calling them a dirty rotten motherfucker, because you know that they are denial of it. A lot of people say, "Oh, your intelligence is you shouldn't swear and call people names because it lowers your." No, it doesn't. You're calling them out for what they are.
Right. So that makes you have a lower IQ because you're calling them out for what they are.
Yeah, they're dirty rotten cocksuckers and shit like that, right? We lost the Thin Blue Line Slayer. Okay, since we've lost the Thin Blue Line Slayer and we have all kinds of people in here, at least a whole 7 of them. Go ahead and copy and paste that StreamYard link. And see, it says banner here. I'd like to. I'm just gonna create a banner. Now, I don't know how you get the banner up top. I saw that Rogue Nation had his up top and it was permanent and it was clickable. Joe Cool, good to see you. So I don't know how to create one that you click on. If anybody could easily tell me how to do that, it'd be great. There's Thin Blue Line Slayer.
Can you bring me that shirt?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, man. I got I got kicked out, man. Sorry.
Yeah, it must have been Joe Cool. Joe Cool
Yeah,
booted
Joe
you.
Cool. Joe Cool scared me off, man.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
He's only like 5 inches taller than me, so he scared the hell out of me.
Damn, you go 6'1".
Yeah, but he's like 6'5", 6'6".
All right. So let's get into the business here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I don't know why I didn't do this before, but I'm going to do it now. All right. So what I have here is a motion to dismiss all charges in McDowell County. And what I was saying was I filed a motion to disqualify the judge and the district attorney. And the motion came back from the circuit court. No, they're perfectly able to hear your case and prosecute you. Wake 'em up, America, and resist. Good to see you, brother. Brent, how are you doing tonight?
So
All
the judge said they're perfectly capable of throwing you in jail, huh?
They're perfectly capable of throwing my ass in jail. That's
You're right. Fucked up, man.
So this is new motions, Joe Cole. You talked me into going back down there the last show. You realized that I was acting emotionally like a bitch. And you pretty much called me a bitch in so many words. You said, no, you got to go back down there, man. You got to finish what you fucking start.
Jeez, that's pretty harsh.
It was harsh. It was terribly harsh. But he set me straight, Thin Blue Line Slayer. He set me straight. And that's what friends do, right?
Right. That's exactly. I set you straight all the time, brother.
Oh, yeah. You telling me more times than not. Right. Thin Blue Line Slayer is saying you're a fucking idiot in not so many words and in so many words.
Right.
So this is a motion to dismiss all charges. And this is going to the magistrate. This isn't going to the circuit court. Now, I don't know if the magistrate could hear this. That's up to them. I'm leaving the purview up to them if they could see this because it has to do with him. But here we go. A motion to dismiss all charges. The Sixth Amendment guarantees the right of a criminal defendant the right to a public trial without unnecessary delay and the nature of the charges and evidence against him. Also, a 14th Amendment guarantee to the rights to due process. Good foundation for motion to dismiss, right? Well, here's what I say. It doesn't look like much, does it? But wait for it. Wait for it. CO Lieutenant Looney, Trooper Jones, and Magistrate Mitchell are all party to in-trial ex parte communication. See attached video, evidence, and attached timeline document, page 1 to 26. Magistrate Mitchell is not in control of his courtroom, knowingly permitting unethical practices by Trooper Jones, DA Brittany Puckett, and FCICO Willis. That's Federal Corrections Institute, CO Willis. In brackets, all government actors. Joe Cool, good to see you, brother.
That's good. So I didn't get you locked up. Yeah, I didn't get you locked up.
Not yet. I haven't been back down there yet. And okay. I'm going to mail this to them.
There you go.
Certified mail. All right. I ain't going to go down there at all anymore until I have to.
I told him don't go down there unless he has to. They'll be looking for his ass.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're doing the right thing. I found a few of these myself.
Yeah, I think you're going to like this, Joe. The Thin Blue Line Slayer pretty much knows it because I'm in almost daily contact with Thin Blue Line Slayer. He's a quality dude, really, really smart, one of the most intelligent people I've
Very
ever met in my
good.
life.
You know, I admire that shit. That's what's
Yeah, I
important to me.
mean,
That
I
shit.
can't say enough good things about Thin Blue Line Slayer, man.
Hey, Joe, it's all the experience I got, bro. I didn't, I think about it this way. I didn't even know about auditing for a long time, right? But
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a long time. I always been stood up to the cops since I was younger. You know what? We had to, man. Getting harassed, getting this, getting that. I never back down. I stand up to them every time, and it's like they don't like it. I'm on all them lists and stuff too. Hey, he's non-cop friendly. Every time they pull me over, they know it says it right there: non-cop compliant, non-cop friendly. Just because I cuss them out and tell them "fuck you," you're full of shit.
Same, I get the same. Yeah.
Right,
I get
right. So
actually they get up to the window, they be like, "Oh, okay, you can go. You okay?" Oh, it's shocking when they get up to the window, like,
hey,
"Oh."
hey. After I put that video out, Joe, check this out. I talked to the underground auditor about it. I got pulled over by the same dude I videotaped. He was like, "Man, you made me YouTube famous, man." He pulled me over and said I was speeding. And he let me go. He said, "I ain't gonna get you for speeding, man. Go ahead." Crazy, man. It was insane. Yeah, he just let me go.
He didn't like being famous, man.
No, he didn't like being famous, bro. He didn't want round, and the video camera was out. He didn't want round two. He was like, "Fuck it, man, just go ahead." It was insane. It was insane, but it was crazy, man.
The guy told me he was a truck driver or some shit, and he saw me and he was like, "Hey, you Joe Cool?" I had my mask on, and he knew we went to mask. He knew, like, yeah. He's like, "My brother's a cop," and when he acts up, I tell him, "Don't have me go get Joe Cool on you."
That's funny. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I know. That's what they.
Damn, I'm not even famous like that yet. Fuck. You think I should know my ass by now. Fuck.
Yeah, they just know. They know you when you create havoc in their little community. Right. They know you.
Yeah. Okay. Before I get into this motion, I actually want to give you some background video. Joe, I don't think that you saw the video where I initially made contact with, or they made contact with me at the prison. So I'm going to show that to give everybody a little bit more context into how I acted, how they acted that day. And of course, you've already seen my arrest. Okay. So let me go back.
Your sound went out. I don't know if you know that.
It probably turned off. Yeah, can't hear no sound, Matt. You got bumped the sound up, brother. Your sound went out down.
Yeah, I'm sorry, brother. I have to go ahead and take this out of here because I forgot to turn the sound on the screen share.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
No, I was just letting you know. I wasn't mad at you. I was just letting you know. I'm not yelling at you yet, man.
Yeah, I know. All right. Now, the GoPro is right on my shoulder. It's right by my fucking windpipe. So if you hear me breathing heavy.
Wait. We're looking at a different screen. We don't see a video. We see your computer screen.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Okay, here we go.
Hello, buddy.
What's going on?
I'm good.
How are you doing?
Oh, just coming down here for a gentleman taking pictures.
That's me.
Yeah. Any reason?
Yep. Sure is.
And that would be
none of your business. It's mine.
Photography of federal correctional institutions. Not allowed?
I'm sorry?
I said photography of a federal correctional institution.
It's a public road, right?
It is.
It's public easement, right?
Well, it doesn't excuse the photography of it.
You read the DHS memo of 2018 about photography? I think you better go check it out.
I guess it's an audit. It's an audit.
Oh, they know what it is, and they still act up.
I think he go.
Did you hear that
clip? Did you hear that click?
Yeah.
When I turned my phone on, right?
Yep.
Okay. The West Virginia State Police forensics lab indicated that there was no evidence on my cell phone of me ever being there.
Well, probably never even made it to the jail.
They erased it.
Yeah,
No,
probably
audio,
never made it.
The audio is better on my iPhone than it is on my GoPro. And that's important because they never told me that I was trespassing. They never asked me to leave. They never told me to leave.
Is that what the hell they're charging you with? Trespass?
They've charged me with obstructing, failure to ID first. And then they did their investigation and charged me with trespassing on federal property.
Okay. So do you concur that you were on federal property?
Well, I'll tell you. Let me swing this over here so that I can. Okay.
It's actually county property.
No, right then and there where I was standing is indeed federal property.
Right.
When you're dealing with federal government takeover of state or county property, it's not a takeover. It's like a lease agreement, right?
Oh, well, you're still on good.
I'm sorry.
Lease agreement must include the easement.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, Joe Cool, they're putting a brand new highway through there. So the county was the one who did the easements. They did all that stuff.
Yeah, even if they lease it to whoever, they still got to provide that easement.
Right. And there is an easement there.
Yeah, if it's a public road, yeah.
He already talked to the easement guy, and he was on the easement.
Hey, Cajun Randy, how are you doing, brother? So now you saw the initial contact. Was I mean to the guy?
Yeah, he was a dick.
Was I mean to him? Did I motherfuck him? Did I cuss him? Did I?
No.
You didn't do all that shit, but you were a dick. That's what I got friends who do that shit. I may do it if I'm pissed off at someone. Mind your business. You know, I do that shit. If a cop asks me, hey, are you filming or something I take as disrespectful, I tell him, mind your business, man. Mind your business, I'll mind mine. That can be interpreted as mean or whatever, but I think it's fair if you're asking me that all day long. It's not courteous. Shit.
Okay.
And no, you're not cursing them out or anything, and you're not breaking. You certainly ain't not. I don't give a fuck about his feelings. You can tell him, mind your business, motherfucker. Get the fuck on. That's fair.
It gets much worse on my part.
What's your background, Blue Line? I think that's you get the TV playing or something. Yeah.
On my part, I get exponentially worse because I hate when people tell me to do shit. I just can't stand it.
Me too.
It's a man on a man, and whenever a man starts to demand you turn shit or go over there, do this or do that.
Can you imagine? You're standing on a public side or walk, or you're outside the store somewhere, and I walk up to you, my man, do me a favor, stand over there. Like I'm gonna take your spot. You just go stand over there. Of course, I'd be fucking mad. I'd be furious, man. Get the fuck on, man.
So I've already told him in a nice way, and he's agreed with me that it's a public road, didn't he?
Yes, he said it. So he's kind of locked in on that.
He agreed that it was maybe a public easement. He wasn't quite sure about that, but he was damn sure that it was an audit.
Public road must require public easement.
Absolutely.
Must by law. Yeah.
by law. So
Yeah.
he already knew that it was an audit. He even said it himself. Oh, this is an audit.
And he's still gonna act out.
Well, guess what? He's not at trial. He's not there to testify. You know why? Because it's
Because you
contrary
didn't.
to their argument, their narrative.
Well,
First off,
you call him as a witness.
well,
You
that's
should
what
have
I did.
subpoenaed the guy.
I've already
Okay.
let Brittany Puckett know that as soon as the trial date is set, I'm going to subpoena Willis as my
There
witness.
you go.
Now it's
Very
going to
good.
be because he was one of their witnesses listed as
Yes.
a witness. Now
Yes,
I'm going to
definitely
turn
can
that son of a
subpoena
bitch
him.
into a fuck. I'm going to turn that son of a bitch into a, what do they call it?
Yes.
Hostile witness.
Hostile witness. Thank you very much, Thin Blue Line Slayer.
Yes.
And I'm going to turn that son of a bitch. You hear me, Brittany?
Yes.
Bring it
I'd be
on.
like, you got me in a whole lot of trouble, man, telling me that was a public road and I was okay because I'm assuming it's a public road. You lied to me, Whitney.
Now Looney's on the stand saying that they told me that it was not a public road. Now,
Ooh.
as a civilian, see, they don't want to get that on stand. They don't want Willis for me to cross-examine Willis and show that part, because now I'm as a civilian, it's not my fault. I was told one thing and now I'm being told another.
That's right.
Besides,
Yes.
there are no trespassing signs all the way up and down that fence line. So I'm only going by what the law states. You have to post what is private and what is not.
Remember, they never told you to leave. They only told you to stop filming.
He did say in the video, well, if you don't like it, you could leave. But that's not telling me to leave.
Yeah.
That's only telling you if you don't like that, we're telling you not to film, leave. That's what that told you. It didn't say you got to go.
Richard DeBias,
yeah.
King Richard DeBias is in the StreamYard. How are you doing, King Richard?
Hey, look, Joe, they always use semantics. Use it back on them. Semantics, same shit.
Yes.
Just turn it around on them.
So
if I'm being charged with trespass, that means I was given an opportunity to leave. That should be on one of those tapes somewhere.
But that's the key, is because they realized that my cell phone captured no trespass warning, none, because it was closer to them and it has a better microphone pickup from where that GoPro was on my neck.
Yeah. That's
why I know that I had at least 30 videos of that whole day, because I had visited a local county jail down there where the fucking guy was great. The commander, he's like, yeah, come on in. I got water here. You can film whatever, but you don't go past this area and that. And we had a great conversation. Then I left there and went down to FCI and I get arrested.
Right.
So I know that there was video of that day on my phone, because you could even hear me clicking it on. Did you hear it go?
I heard it. Bloop, bloop.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know that there's video evidence on my phone that was not gotten by and as a matter of fact, Miss McCabe at the State Trooper Forensics Lab said that there was no evidence in her report of me being on that property that day on my iPhone.
All right. When they told you, I know Illinois law in some different states, you don't have to identify until you're being lawfully arrested. After you were under arrest, did they tell you to ID and you did not and you refused?
No, I refused to identify as soon as he asked me. The moment he came up, he asked me, what's your name? Give me your license. I said, I did not. Even before I was detained, it was a consensual conversation. All the way up to the point 8 minutes later where I said, okay, I'll stand here and remain silent. And he said, okay, put your hand behind your back.
And then Joe,
he said obstruction. I said, that's not the way it works. But
obstruction for not IDing.
My wallet is in my car. My license is in my car, which I did proper. A lot of people say, oh, you're a bitch. You just didn't want to get in trouble. That's why you said your wallet was in the car. I'll give you my license. No, you're required by law once you're arrested to offer your ID.
Yeah, you got to be on solid footing. Fuck what someone else is talking about. They're not going to fight the case for you. Depending, public sidewalk, you can argue your fucking ass off and I'll take that case. But if I could make it worse, by, you know, doing something and giving them the advantage or the excuse they need. For instance, cursing in some states, or a kid's going by, they can consider that so and so. So yes, you don't want to go in there and give them any fucking laws that you broke.
Everybody on scene that day was a government agent minus me.
Yeah,
So they can't claim any of that bullshit.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't get me for disorderly.
Yeah, I'm sure they looked for it though, right? They looked for
I'm sure they
disorderly.
look
I'm
at
sure.
everything that they could possibly charge me with. Hey, 5D Freedom, good to see you.
Obstruction is a secondary charge too, and they try to charge you with a secondary charge before they charge you with anything else, and they can't do it. It's stupid.
I don't think
obstruction
is
by
a secondary
itself.
charge.
Yes, it is.
I'm not
Obstruction
sure
failure to ID is.
I agree with that.
Obstruction failure to ID is definitely a secondary charge, because what was the first charge?
If I got in between him and stopped him from doing his investigation on trespassing, that would be an obstruction charge.
And also, if you threaten the police in some states, that's the third element. Yeah, threatening the police officer.
I understand all that, but other than that, obstruction has to be a physical act too.
Or be physical, yes. And some people
physical.
split hairs and say the one that UA came up with, where you're coming in between him and the guy he's talking to. Technically, that's physical. So
that's
some people
obstruction.
call that physical.
Yeah, but not just talking. Talking is not obstruction.
No,
Houston
we got
versus
good
Hill.
case law on that. Yeah.
Right, Houston versus Hill. It's obstruction. My words alone can't be obstruction.
Yes. Yeah, we're clear on that shit.
Sorry about that, Richard. I did not see you in the bottom. How are you doing, Richard?
The cops ain't clear about it, though, Joe. That's who's not clear about it.
Yes, and they're hoping that UA is not clear about it, because they're always going to try and push it through until you prove that you're there for the duration. I think that helps me a lot. I tell them, just my, when I get in that mood and I yell at them all the way to the police station, all the way to and then I come back the next day and film them in Texas. I rode back to Texas just to request some shit, some documents I could have requested over the internet. Told them I'm gonna be every day in your face until you show that they think you're like everybody else. You're back down after a couple things, just give them a couple continuances, he'll back down type shit. And until they see that you're going to be in their face, that's when your power starts to come. I tell them, and I'm filming them, nigga, I live here. I'm out here every fucking day. Nigga, you just work here. I'm going to be the worst part of your fucking day. You're going to hate to come to work. They hate that you're going to be there for the duration of shit.
Right.
Correct. Hey, Richard, how are you doing, brother?
Hey, Richard. How you doing, bro?
All right.
Hey, underground auditor, what have I been telling you the whole time? You got to stay in it for the duration. They're going to give you 5,000 continuances. They're going to give you 5,000 plea bargains.
Yes.
And right at trial, they're going to drop their shit. So just take it to trial.
I know they dropped the trial.
I know. They're on you.
With the trial.
I've been fighting traffic tickets. I got 2 traffic tickets and possession of a bowl, paraphernalia.
Is that a petty misdemeanor?
Yeah, none of them carry jail time or anything like that. And I've been battling Texas for 2 years on this shit. So it's the same shit. Every time they set me a trial date or something like that, they get me up there and offer me I know you want this one dropped. Don't you want to get rid of that? Try to make a deal with me and all of that bullshit. And I just hit them with more and more fucking paperwork. And then 6-7 months later, they try again. I hit them with more paperwork, and then they'd be like, well, we continued it. And the last time they say we agreed to a continuance. I sent them some shit saying, agreed. Who did you agree with? I didn't ask for a continuance. It makes me think you're having ex parte conversations without me there. I want every fucking record, every conversation y'all ever had, anything my name in it. I sent through the certified mail a motion to dismiss. I hit them with so much shit, Joe. It's been months. This is a game.
Right. It's a chess match. That's what it is, bro.
All right. So Let me get back to this video to give you a little bit more context about what I've been battling and what the motions that I'm about ready to file. So here we go. Freedom of speech enables me to say, fuck you.
Very good.
All right. I also have to say that they only gave me 8 minutes of discovery off of my GoPro. They didn't give me the whole the whole amount of time that I was there. So this is late discovery that they gave me off of my GoPro.
My suggestion, I'm sorry to interrupt, but is to immediately make a claim and refile for the full so-and-so. And I would word it that they gave me a doctored evidence, altered evidence. I would intentionally make it look like they did it on purpose. Yeah.
Wait for it, Joe. You're getting ahead of yourself. You're too smart. Just like John Dina, the smartest man on the internet when it comes to legal things.
Okay.
All right, just wait.
Go ahead.
Wait for it. Here we go. Which I just got done doing. You ain't heard of the Constitution? Freedom of speech? Ain't no grown man going to tell me what to do. I don't give a fuck who you are.
What that punk say? Something about the camera.
Yeah, that's all they're worried about is the camera.
I had a tripod. A monopod, something.
Also, this is the video that I objected to, not being privy to getting discovery. This is the video that I objected to.
Even after all that, they only gave you 8 minutes of it?
8 minutes. And I objected to this. This is when we went into the room where Miss Puckett had the door open so everybody could hear.
So they're supposed to give you the whole thing. And like Joe said, now it's doctored. So they're not supposed to do that.
Yep. Did you doctor the evidence before you gave it to me, ma'am? What? What do you mean? No.
2018 photography. Look at it. DHS memo 2018 on photography. You're under the Department of Homeland Security, asshole. Still, you're under part of Department of Homeland Security, asshole. It all falls under a federal umbrella, dickhead. I don't give a fuck. I'm a Marine. I'm allowed to bark. That's what Marines do, bark. Ain't no man going to tell me what the fuck to do when I'm in private. Public.
Look like you're clearly on good footing there. Damn, they're on the road itself.
That's right.
They can't even say pedestrian in the roadway.
Well, they can't now.
I was even being nice to you up front till you started to demand I turn my shit away. That wasn't very nice of you.
That's what he
told
said.
Me to turn my shit away. Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't tell me what to do out here in public. You tell your inmates to, not out here. You're being rude to me. That's why I yelled at you, asshole.
That's the public.
This is the public. See that fence right there? It says still trespassing. That means past that point, asshole.
Your camera's trespassing.
No, it isn't. You can't see your eye, asshole. No, you can't. You can't trespass your eyes, dickhead, or everybody would have to look away.
Dustin, you're not gonna get me riled up.
Well, I'm allowed to. That's who I am, fucking asshole, dickhead. That's who the fuck I am. I swear, I'm a cuss monger. I'm a cuss monger. So fucking sue me.
You're gonna put this on YouTube, make some money.
Is that right? Is that what you think I do? How do you know? Assuming again, aren't you? I think you need to stay on your own fucking property and tell them what the fuck to do, not me.
I just work here, so that you know.
Yeah, that's your property when you work. That's your property when you work. This is our property when we're free. Swear. Fuck you. You ain't my fucking daddy. Last person to tell me not to swear was my daddy, and you ain't him.
Stop swearing.
You hot.
You just left me the fuck alone. That's all you should have done, is left me the fuck alone. But no, you have to be a dickhead. You have to tell me to turn my camera.
I'm sorry, say please.
No, you don't.
He said, I said, please.
You dickhead. You're gonna learn your fucking lesson today, asshole. You want to know the real reason why I do this? You want to know the real reason why I do this? I'm obnoxious. Fuck you too. You want to know why I do this? You don't, do you? You just want to come out and bark question. You just want to bark demands.
Yep.
Fuck you. I don't have to leave. This is public property. He said if you don't like it, you could leave. That's what he said.
All right.
That's not telling you to leave.
Nah.
All of this is public property, actually. You have visitors come here, right? That means I'm allowed to be going on there, too.
That's correct.
I'm allowed to go all the way up to that building and take pictures. I'm just not allowed to go into restricted areas, asshole.
That undermines security and everything.
Fuck you.
Same as going to a base, taking pictures of a base.
I've recorded many bases, dickhead. I recorded Fort Bragg right outside their gate. The police came and they left. So fuck you.
Why would you want to undermine your own security of your home?
Ooh, you're undermining something.
I don't understand.
Have you seen our constitutional rights being taken by this wonderful federal government that we live under? You can fucking lick the boot. I don't. Why don't you just take the whole boot down your throat, dude? You fucking bootlicker. Why are you trying to undermine the citizens? Why are you people trying to take the American people's rights? You're asking the wrong question, dickhead. I am an American and I have a right to stand here free and film you assholes. Isn't it great? Not for you, dickhead. I think this guy's getting it. This guy knows. You'll find out. You'll find out real soon. I'm allowed to cuss in public. I'm allowed to sing if I want to. You just told me to watch my fucking mouth. Fuck you too.
You call me a man, so that's how you treat a man.
You don't treat a man by coming out and demanding shit right off the get. Turn your camera. I don't give a fuck how
I
you
said,
act.
please.
Oh, you don't give a fuck.
That's right. I don't give a fuck. And then you know what? There ain't a fucking thing you can do about it either.
Oh, you don't give a fuck.
We're allowed to be disagreeable here in this country. It's called freedom, asshole. remember, this is the video that they wanted to play.
Oh, I'm cussing you, you little hurt feelings. Why don't you tell them that why don't you tell them I'm giving you the middle finger too? I don't think that's going to help you, brother. Know what I'm doing. You don't. You're a piss poor fucking guard then.
I work with convicts. You're no different.
I'm no convict. That's the fucking difference, asshole.
like
Fuck you. I'm acting like a free man, douchebag. Why don't you step the fuck back?
Please do not film.
I'm filming it right now.
He told you were acting like a convict.
You ain't no law enforcement officer. You don't have the authority out here in public to touch me at all. I'm not one of your fucking inmates.
Actually, when it comes to security,
I ain't in there. I'm out here.
you were violating the security institution.
That's not proper.
Because if you put it on,
You do not have the jurisdiction out here. Past that fucking gate, then yes. You're going to make a big time mistake if you touch me. I'm allowed to defend myself.
He said it's got the court so far.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Why? You're putting words in my mouth?
No, you're the only one getting riled up, sir.
You tell me to not point my camera there. You are sadly mistaken. You know how many people do this? Do you know how many people do this? You're going to look like an idiot, man.
It wouldn't be the first time in my life.
Yeah.
Don't matter. I'm going to ask you again, please.
You can ask me all day long, man. Why don't you go back in there and take care of your inmates? How's my
You're acting like an inmate.
what's secure? Okay, a person Google drove by, right? Google car drove by. They took pictures. You know what? I got a top-down view from Google. I mean, real close. I mean, I have more information from Google than standing all the way out here, douchebag.
Why are you slobbing? You got something wrong with you? You need to walk through?
Why don't you kiss my ass?
He's a jerk. He deserves it.
I'm calling the police just to let you know.
By all means. And then you will learn a lesson.
I'm calling the police.
Out here. Second off, they don't have any right to trespass me from public property for not breaking the law. Filming is a constitutional right. It's called freedom of the press. I'm an investigative journalist, and you're doing a real good job, brother. See, all you have to do with these people is just push their buttons a little bit, and then they call the police on you. They demand shit from you. Their authority is on that fucking prison, not out here.
Boy, did you eat those words?
Yeah, but like I've been telling them, Joe, they do what they want to do, bro. It don't matter what you say, no matter what. They do what you want to do. You get in court, and it's kangaroo court. Yes. It doesn't matter. They do whatever the fuck they want, man. Yes. You're not going to stop them. You get a lawyer. It doesn't fucking matter. You do it yourself. It doesn't fucking matter. They do what they want. You know what I mean? And that's how it goes, man.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, right? Power does what it wants, and they're gonna try you because it's so successful. The public defenders, they plead out 90+% of the time, so they're gonna try all those routes on you because they are so effective. You know, so it's gonna be a while.
All right.
Right, so, they'll make you try to sweat it out. I been down the road, man. I know. Been down to the live road. 8 continuances in one case. It's crazy, but whatever.
All right. So I move up the road. Up here, I'll put this back on.
That was the one they said they gave you, and they had not, right?
Say that again, Joe Cole?
That was the video that they were telling the judge, oh, we gave him all those videos. You were like,
Correct.
no, you did not. Okay.
Correct. And I'll be getting into that here in a second. So I move up the road, probably a good, I'd say not up this road, up the road I came from, which ended up being county property.
Yeah.
Okay. That is it's count. This is a county road 16-69. County road 16-69. It's also going to be an access road for the Coalfield Expressway. That's what them sheds are right behind me. That's what the equipment is behind me. It's a staging area. The governor was there 3 days with his whole entire entourage, camera, media, 3 days before I got there.
Uh-oh.
So I'm entering that in as evidence. So the news article that the governor was there 3 days before, the same spot I was.
Same spot.
So let's watch the end of it, and that's why I wanted to bring up where I ended up. Okay.
That's what that sign says. So don't go tearing up my
The first
house.
up.
What can you tell me what the name is?
Please don't.
I did not commit a crime.
Again, this is an
I
investigation.
am allowed to leave once ordered to leave by a law enforcement officer.
They asked you
So
to go.
I'm leaving now.
No, sir, you're not allowed to do this.
All right.
Oh, you're good.
All right, sir. Go ahead and put your hands behind your back. You're under
You're
arrest.
good.
You want me to give you a license? I will give you my license. It's in the car.
Oh,
It's
very
in the car.
good.
In the car.
Please behind your back.
Boom. I
Put your
got
other
it
hand
all
back there,
covered,
please.
man.
See your gun? Be the bigger guy.
Thank you.
Okay. So
I'll be your lawyer for a bag of weed and a Big Mac for this, bro. How the fuck does this even make it to court?
because
That's funny.
because his partner, Trooper Beggs, captured my whole entire medical procedure for almost 4 hours on his body cam. He had no need to be in there because in my medical room, because it did not further his investigation into my alleged crime. The only time
Are you
an
telling me they
officer
got
be in your-
evidence on you from your
What's that?
hospital stay? Are you telling me they got evidence on you from your hospital stay?
That's why he was in there for 4 hours, and I kept on asking him, "Is your body cam on?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Good."
No,
Because I knew
what
that
it
there
was,
no
Joe.
legitimate reason for him to be in there because I was not charged with a violent crime. He didn't need to be in there for
Hey, Joe,
security.
what it was they thought he was faking, is what it was.
Right.
And they were going to send that trooper with him because as soon as he was done, they showed that he was faking. He was getting
Oh,
the only fucking.
he was going to say as soon as the doctor came in and said that I was faking, that I didn't have a heart attack, take me to jail.
Right. You were going to jail.
Right.
Isn't that what happened? Yeah. I mean, I've been there a million times. The police stand by
Yeah,
your
but he
bed.
never went to jail because he stayed in the hospital because he wasn't faking. That's the point, Joe.
This is
See?
great. How the fuck does this make it to court?
The doctor came in and said, "You've had a heart attack." I said, "No shit."
Wait. You know, man, I missed this total part. You had a heart attack. That opens them up for, makes them liable for lawsuits and shit like that. So of course they don't want to give this one up because then it would open them up for all sorts of lawsuits. Are you shitting me?
And the county attorney, the county
And the county hospital, right? The county hospital is involved. You understand that because they HIPAA violations by letting them come in there and record in his medical room about his medical records. Now anybody can see his medical records if they can pull up the body cam. You know what I mean?
Very good. Yeah.
So what I did
Right. That's a HIPAA violation on the hospital.
So what I did was I called the prosecutor's office early on and I said, "Hey, I want my medical records returned from the state trooper publicly accessible database because my medical records need to be with me or the caretaker, not
Very
the state
good.
troopers."
Very good.
And
Oh,
and
yeah,
they
I
gave
probably
me
wouldn't have thought of
warning
that one.
we got his medical records because it's a whenever you videotape a medical record, it's no different than taking the paperwork right out of the hospital.
Yeah, it's a record. It's just a different form of record.
It's just a duplicative form.
Uh,
So that's why they're coming at me so hard.
of course. I'm gonna encourage you again. Hang the fuck in there, bro. Um,
Yeah.
it's hard to trash you with a trespass. When you stated on camera that I'll leave, and they said no, because it's trespass after warning is the name of the fucking charge. So where's the warning? That one goes out the window.
That's what I argued.
Yeah.
That's what
Failure to ID. The moment I was told I was under arrest, which is when I am now legally obligated, the first words out of my mouth was, "I will ID." I had to check what the state laws over there, but if it's like Illinois and most other states, you're good on that shit. It's shit. I could write some paperwork for this shit, man. You probably ain't put the right motion or something in front of it.
No, wait for it.
He's
So cool.
been filing good motions, man.
Dude,
Okay.
Listen, out of anybody that I've ever seen, I write the most hard-hitting motions you could fucking
Very
write.
good. Very
And
good.
you'll see here in a minute
All
what I'm
right.
talking about. Okay. I just wanted to give you guys context,
Yeah, I needed it. Yeah.
okay, to understand the legal grounds that I'm on, solid
Appreciate
legal
it.
grounds.
Yes, looks
Hey,
good.
Creole,
Yeah.
good to see you. Good to see you. Long time no see, Creole. So let's go ahead and get back to this motion right here. All right. Again, this is a motion to dismiss all charges after my motion to disqualify was denied, to disqualify both the judge and the district attorney.
On what grounds? Because they listened to the tape.
Well,
the judge
because
did.
of what I'm about ready to get into. It's almost identical. It is actually identical to my motion to disqualify because it's all the same thing. Okay. So what I did was I filed a motion to disqualify, and I'm using the same paperwork. Because it's all the same thing, to file for a motion to dismiss this time.
Right.
And both motions, the motion to dismiss and the motion to change venue, will be identical in paperwork. Does that make sense?
To some degree, I still don't know if there would be different grounds. There could be motion to disqualify the judge and the DA, and motion to dismiss. You can dismiss it on the grounds of the way, or you could disqualify the judge on grounds that she improperly heard the evidence and let other people hear it. But I don't know whether the DA was in that room or not.
Well, you saw the trial, right?
Yeah.
You saw me, the prosecutor, and the trooper go into the room, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You heard my voice coming out of that room of the videotape you just got done watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
You saw Looney fist bump the judge.
Who was Loney? He was the guard or somebody. Yeah.
He's the guard, the CO, the one that was on the stand.
Yep.
You saw him react to that by saying, "See, this is what he's like.
This is what he likes. This is what he's like. This is how he treats me."
And he also said, whenever hearing that coming from that room, he loves me.
So on what grounds is the district attorney at fault?
Forte communication. The witness is privy to evidence that it is not yet entered into evidence. It's under motion. It's under a objection.
And that's the district attorney's fault?
She kept the door open, didn't she?
Oh, I was wondering where she was. I don't know.
She's in the room holding the doorknob, opening
You
it
kept
open.
saying that, right? You did say that. Yeah, so she would definitely be to blame. That the door was opening and she was the one whose hand was on the door.
Correct. I witnessed it in person, and now I got it on videotape.
Yeah.
So when I
Yeah.
filed my motion to disqualify, well, that's what I noted. But he didn't. He wasn't.
All right.
The circuit judge wasn't privy to that. I had a video because I didn't want him to see it yet.
Right. I understand. All right.
Because I want to see how much they will fucking go with their fucking nepotism and shit.
Yeah, I understand.
In due time, I'll release it, and I did that day
Right.
that I got the denial of my motion to disqualify.
Right.
Hey, Joe
Yes, Howard
Cooter.
Clegg, malicious prosecution, and I'll get to that. Howard Clegg, you're jumping ahead of me.
There's a little more.
Go ahead, Timberline, sir.
Okay, there's a little more to it too. You don't
Yeah.
understand what this trooper been doing, man. This trooper he's been acting as the fucking DA, coming at Matt with deals and shit. That ain't his fucking job. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm getting to it.
All right,
I'm
go ahead.
interested now. Shit.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He
Go ahead.
talked to you where and how? The trooper.
Well, the trooper is a witness and the investigator. He's in the executive branch.
But he said that
He's
he
not
had
supposed to be
came to you with
offering
a
me plea
deal.
deals. He's not supposed to be going in.
When and where?
He offered me a plea deal right before the trial started.
When and where? Outdoors, indoors, court steps?
I was in the waiting room waiting to go into the courtroom. He opened up the door and he said, "Hey, the prosecutor sent me out here to offer you a plea deal."
I guess that's
not his
logical.
job. That's her job.
I've never had any of the cops come out and say, "Hey," and especially the guy that's investigating me and say, "Hey, I'm supposed to offer you a deal."
But if the
never heard of it.
prosecutor says, "Hey man, you got a weak case. You better go out there and try to talk to him." Yeah, then he still wouldn't say prosecutor's offering you a deal. What the fuck kind of business is that of yours? Yeah.
Right, you get what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, ain't no way
I
around
took it
that.
as a threat.
I feel
Honestly.
you, right? If you don't take this deal, we're gonna
An
hurt you.
intimidation tactic.
Yeah.
But that's all in my other motions that I've filed. So let's continue with this motion, and it'll all become clear in a minute. Okay.
Yeah. Ex parte communications. And we can't hear you if you're talking, UI.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure you read that, right?
Yeah, I'm reading it now, yeah.
Okay, Lieutenant Looney, Trooper Jones, Magistrate Mitchell are all party to in-trial ex parte communications. See attached video evidence. And attached timeline document, page 1 through 26. How many people file a motion 1 to 26?
Yeah, right.
That tells you I got a lot.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Magistrate Mitchell is not in capital in control of his courtroom, knowingly permitting unethical practices by Trooper Jones, DA Brittany Puckett, and FCI CO Willis, all government actors in bracket emphasis added. That's legalese. That's legal terms. Hey, listen, you gotta fucking look what I just said with more of a fucking eyeball and thought. To violate the defendant's right to have a speedy, impartial, and fair trial. See attached video evidence and attached timeline document 1 to 26. Tampering and or omitting evidence by Prosecutor Puckett. See attached PowerPoint document, page 1 to 24.
Damn.
I motion this court for all charges to be dismissed. Now let's go ahead to the page 1 to 26 and then the PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to add along with the video evidence.
Hold on, man. I gotta take a leak. I don't want to take you with me, man. Can y'all
Okay.
just chop it
Okay.
up for a second? I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. We can talk amongst ourselves. Richard, how are you doing, brother?
All righty.
And I'm still on their asses down there in Randolph too. Don't think I've given up on that.
Hey, I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah.
It was interesting. About a few weeks ago, they had a public comment at the Randolph, and they let one of the people speak on something that wasn't on the agenda. They never even made that. You know how they used to they kicked me out for trying to
Yeah.
speak on something that was on the agenda. Well, they let this dude do it. And I thought, hell, I ought to go to the meeting, but I thought, nah, I ain't gonna, go to the meeting and say, want to talk about the bias they had. He said,
Cajun Randy, device is not connected. There you go. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Richard.
yeah, I was thinking of going to one of
Hey,
the
Richard.
meetings. And yes,
You know that guy probably wasn't saying nothing bad about him, right?
no. He
Well,
was
that's
saying
why
something
they
they
didn't.
wanted.
That's why they didn't kick him out. Think about it, man.
Yeah,
It don't
well, I
matter.
know that, but
Right.
they let him talk where they told me if it wasn't on the agenda at all, you couldn't talk. But now they let this guy, well, I was going to go there and talk about the bias and see if they would let me discuss how it was biased, not letting me talk and him talk. But
You'll
I
get
don't
kicked
know.
out again.
I'll probably
You'll
get
get
kicked
kicked
out.
out.
Yeah.
You'll get kicked
You'll be
out.
kicked out. You might be
And then
arrested.
another thing happened to me really interesting. I went to the magistrate. Well, I wanted to get it was a long story, do a PPO thing. Well, I went there. Well, I asked for the video of when I was there later on for Freedom of Information Act. Well, the Supreme Court of Appeals handles that. Well, they wouldn't give it to me. Well, then I asked the sheriff. Said he didn't have it or wouldn't give it. And then I asked the commission, who the Supreme Court of Appeals told me to ask. Well, all three of them didn't have it. So I thought, well, maybe I ought to take them to court. But then I thought they probably wouldn't give it to me anyways. See, they wouldn't even give me the video when I was inside the magistrate building.
Huh.
All right, I'm back, guys.
I don't know why nobody's names are showing up here.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it just went blank on me, and I don't know if I did
There's
anything.
a button up. Yeah, there's a button you push to take them down and put them up. I don't know.
Okay.
I've never did StreamYards, but other people can take them away or put them up by pushing a button.
Okay, I don't know what button I pressed.
All right, I've never worked the StreamYard. I can't help.
I don't. And let me look here real quick. Settings. Maybe I pressed a button. Mute, share screen, layout. Maybe I pressed a key that did it. Settings, new tab. Oh, S. Okay, let me see if this works. No, it doesn't. I want people to know who's on here. So let me work this out. Band guests. No, not that. I'm going to cancel the banner. I'm going to hide it. There we go. It must be the banner that's doing it. Okay. We're all good, right?
Yeah,
all
we
right.
can see now. We can see.
Now let me see, because everybody's picture isn't there anymore either. So let's go ahead and delete that, and delete that. All right. We got everybody's name up here anyhow. Richard, with your asking for freedom of information and you didn't get the video you asked for, right?
Correct.
You asked, can they do that?
Well,
Correct.
I don't think they could. I don't think they can, but they say nobody wants to give it to me.
Thanks, Creole. Well, all I can say is you're probably going to have to sue for it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I was figuring that's what I have to do. Yeah.
All right. Now that we got one problem solved, or somewhat solved, let's get back to this motion to dismiss. And we were on my 1 to 26. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to slide it over there. Here we go. Now, what I did is I gave the background. Okay, and I'm going to go through this real quick. On August 26, 2022, defendant Mr. Ballin was arrested, right? Okay, and I go through the whole entire course of my arrest, me going to the hospital, my appearances in Barber County Court, not in McDowell, because of course I was in the hospital and I drove back from Kentucky. My wife drove me back from Kentucky, so I had to turn myself into the local police department when I got back because they had said that Trooper Jones told me that a warrant would be issued. Okay, and that's what the beginning of this is, just to give them background. And I also said I demand a trial by jury. Right? Now, this is all for a motion to disqualify at this point. Or no, I'm sorry, a motion to dismiss. And here's my jury selection sheet. That jury demand that I had given them has to be done within 20 days after the original appearance in front of the magistrate, which it's well within the time frame, right? Now
we did that right away.
We did that right away. That's right. Magistrate Mitchell sent the first pretrial status notice to the wrong address in North Carolina. Magistrate Mitchell issued a bench warrant for my arrest. On October 4th, 2022, I received the notice to appear for a status hearing in October. At pretrial hearing, Mitchell retracted the bench warrant due to his error. At pre-trial hearing, Mr. Ballin disclosed his discovery right away, and they were surprised by that, and verbally requested reciprocal discovery from the prosecutor and its magistrate court rules discovery 29 ACDE in court rule number 30. So you always have to write the court rules. You can't just let it hang out there. You got to reference the rules when you're writing these motions. Uncontrollable. Good to see you. So when you're writing these motions, you have to reference law. You have to reference court procedure, rules, and all of that. Okay. These four, contacted the McDowell County Prosecutor's Office, asked for the return of his medical records. 4-hour medical record procedure done. Mr. Ballin were copied in real time by Trooper Beggs' West Virginia State Police body cam. On January 17th, Mr. Ballin contacted Magistrate Mitchell's office to inquire about the new trial because I wanted to stay on top of it. I wanted to make sure that I was getting updated information about when the trial was going to be. January 19th, Mr. Ballin received a notice to appear for a bench trial in front of Magistrate Mitchell on February 21st. On January 27th, Mr. Ballin contacted the McDowell County prosecutors to ask for reciprocal discovery. On January 31st, Mr. Ballin traveled 4 hours to McDowell County Prosecutor's Office to pick up reciprocal discovery. Magistrate ruled discovery the same. On February 17th, 2023, Mr. Ballin received an email from Brittany Puckett. In the email was a copy of her motion to the court for a continuance. And her motion was based upon Trooper Jones. The state was contacted by Trooper Jones right here and was advised that the West Virginia State Crime Lab will not have the drone footage copied until next week, and then he will pick it up then. Therefore, we respectfully request a continuance in the matter above. Now, this was when? February 17th, right? When? Go ahead. Whoever wanted to chime in, go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to chime in with, what did I tell you right when you told me about some drone footage?
You said there ain't no fucking drone footage. There ain't no drone footage.
Drone footage, right. I told you that from the get-go.
Cajun Randy, are you up in here? I see you. I see you in here. Are you up in here? All right, let me know. Yeah, I can hear you. Good to see you, Cajun Randy.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, just waiting for a chance.
Yeah. Any
Go ahead,
thoughts on
me.
it so far?
No, we've been over all this before.
Yes, we have. So, you know, I just got to reiterate and redo it and keep the pressure on. That's why I'm doing this so that the people that aren't in the know about the prior shows that I've done on this specific issue can catch up to speed, so that then whenever they go elsewhere, they could say they could have a better understanding of what has transpired. Does that make sense?
I hear you.
All right, Cajun Randy.
Just give me 1 second to say hello to Joe and Thin and Richard and you. How y'all doing?
Hey, I'm good, man.
What up, Cajun? I was just rapping with my girl. And Uncontrollable, I heard UA say hi to you if you're still in here. Good to see you.
All right. So here we go. Now, if you look up here, the trial was set for the trial was set for February, right?
Oh, look at that.
Because they didn't even give me the discovery in time. They never gave me discovery, and all of a sudden it's 4 days before trial, and they say that they got discovery, but it was on a long holiday weekend when I got this email.
Well, in my opinion, you should be able to get all of this dropped by now for a speedy trial violation, period.
Well, I asked for a dismissal based upon speedy trial, not only in writing, but in a pre-trial conference, pre-trial hearing. And the magistrate said that both parties have asked for a continuance. Well, I didn't at this point, but both parties asked for a continuance, so that adds time. Right?
Well, I know, but that's been almost a year ago again, huh?
1 year, 7 months. Okay.
It's the trial.
Yes. So
that's outrageous.
It is. Okay. And we'll get to that. On February 21st, Mr. Ballin filed multiple motions with McDowell County Magistrate Court. A motion to quash the prosecutor's motion, a continuance motion. Isn't that beautiful? Right? A speedy trial. Look at that. Another motion for a speedy trial. And to dismiss all charges. And this first motion is a motion. Let me blow this up a little bit. A motion to quash the prosecutor's continuance. And what I write in here is that a Fourth Amendment violation, the warrantless arrest, search and seizure of the defendant and property on August 22nd. It was warrantless. The defendant has been under state confinement for 7 months. Happy with the litigation up to this point. However, the prosecutor and its taxpayer-funded staff cannot even gather drone footage.
What's your background, Thin Blue Line?
Oh, I'm sorry.
drone footage, their own evidence, emphasis added. There's that little legalese shit again, because it's their own fucking evidence that they can't even get before trial that they're continuing for
Right.
over a 7-month period. To wit, the defendant should not suffer any further undue punishment by extended length of the pretrial confinement via prosecutor motion to continue. Isn't that beautiful? Then I say the prosecutor cannot act as a magistrate to impose further state confinement through bail conditions on the defendant by simply asking for a continuance to gather state-owned evidence, emphasis added, that is and has been easily accessible to them and Trooper Jones for 7 months. This is
This
fraud
is a fraud.
on this court by a state actor, Trooper Jones specifically, and then Brittany Puckett. The prosecution's unnecessary delaying tactics and frivolous motions are in violation of the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Malicious prosecution, John D. Nicola. Rules of criminal procedure.
One here, the two of you. Oops, sorry, mic's open.
That's all right. Rules of Criminal Procedure 16C, discovery and inspection, continuing duty to disclose. If prior to or during trial, a party discovers additional evidence or materials previously requested or ordered, which is subject to discovery or inspection under this rule, such party shall promptly notify the other party and that other party's attorney or the court of the existence of the additional evidence and material. So they're coming to me after giving me initial discovery saying that they have new material, a drone footage. The West Virginia State Police Organization has recently been under investigation by the Department of Homeland Security for possible corrupt acts of a substantial portion of their leadership team. A reasonable person can deduce a correlation between chaos at the top levels of the West Virginia State Police and the delay in acquiring drone footage, state-owned evidence, emphasis added, to prosecute this case. There has been no oversight or training by the leadership of the West Virginia State Police to its subordinate troopers. Thereby, I claim this case is being prosecuted by 2 rogue state troopers, one being a leader, making up their own laws alongside the road in order to entrap the press, in quotes, in an unlawful cycle of criminal prosecution in lieu of a lawful post-conviction punishment. That's hard-hitting, man. You ain't going to find an attorney that's going to write that shit.
No, they ain't got the balls to say something like that.
You know they're not.
It is what it is. The prosecution has had access to the defendant's cell phone and GoPro 360 for 7 months. These videos have not been entered into discovery as evidence for trial. I claim that the same erosion of trust, oversight, lack of training, and chaos from the highest levels of the West Virginia State Police is another correlation between the delay in acquiring privately owned property, mine, emphasis added, from the West Virginia State Police as well. Boom. I mean, you can't, I mean, I'm hammering them here on the first fucking motion I filed. The prosecutor has exculpatory evidence given in discovery, 2021 Fourth Circuit Court, Wingate versus Fulford, maps and deed. I have the deed to the property. Due to the prosecution's delaying tactics and chaos at the highest levels of the West Virginia State Police, the defendant has been stripped of many of his rights. I motion this court to order the prosecution's continuance quashed. I was denied.
Hey, you didn't see that? You didn't see that little drone fly over you and videotape you when he got out of the car? That's that new age shit. You didn't see it. It followed him and it went over the top of him and filmed you.
It must
That
have
was
been
just some crow they strapped on a little tiny camera.
No, it was that little fly that I kept on swatting away. You know, the little fly?
It was that mosquito. I think they can fit it in as small as a mosquito, you know?
Well, we got them Vegas crows down here, mosquitoes.
All right.
Oh, that's pretty big.
Yeah. Now my second motion. My second motion was enable a speedy trial with no further delay. This is before I asked for a motion or a motion to continue. The Sixth Amendment guarantees the right of a criminal defendant, the right to a public trial without unnecessary delay, the right to a lawyer, the right to an impartial jury, and the right to know who your accusers are and the nature of the charges and evidence against you. The warrantless arrest was on August 6, 2022. This is plenty of time for the prosecutor to have brought these charges to trial. SCOTUS, and I reference the Supreme Court, SCOTUS, Barker versus Wingate, 1972. A defendant's constitutional right to a speedy trial cannot be established by any inflexible rule, but can be determined only on an ad hoc balancing basis in which the conduct of the prosecution and that of the defendants are weighed. The conduct. Now, in my prior motion, I'm calling into question their conduct, aren't I? The court established a 4-part test, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The defendant filed verbal motions in pretrial, motions for discovery. The defendant has not interfered with the court's busy schedule with the delay tactics or frivolous motions, setting me apart from what the prosecution's doing. I'm doing it right, but they aren't, is what I'm saying. The defendant has been under state confinement for 7 months. Device not connected. There you go, Cajun Randy.
Yeah, I had to refresh it.
Okay. The defendant has been under confinement for 7 months by this court and has been patient with the process of litigation up to this point. However, if the prosecutor and its taxpayer-funded staff cannot gather their own evidence, emphasis added, in a timely fashion, then that is no fault of the defendant. To wit, the defendant should not suffer any further undue punishment by the magistrate order of state confinement. Now, the magistrate answered this motion right here at pretrial and said, you can go wherever you want. So he rescinded that. Okay. This unnecessary delay is a violation of the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Malicious prosecution. And the same that they've been under investigation and 2 rogue state troopers. It's the same as the last. The prosecutor has had access to the defendant's cell phone. Same thing as the last motion. The prosecution has had the same Fulford versus Wingate. I motion this court to order the prosecution of this case post haste and all charges be dropped due to undue delay by the prosecutor, prosecuting staff, and state police. This motion is to ensure my rights to a speedy trial. Right? Now, my motion to dismiss all charges. That's the third motion I filed this day. Notice the timestamp. It's basically the same thing as in my other motion because I don't need to change much, right? It's the same motion, but just a different response I want. Makes sense, correct? Anybody object to that? Go ahead, you can answer.
Nope, don't.
Okay.
No objection.
We continue. On February 28, 2023, Mr. Ballin received from Magistrate Mitchell a new trial date of March 23rd. On March 9th, 2023, Mr. Ballin contacted the McDowell County Prosecutor's Office to inquire about drone footage. Magistrate Court Rule of Discovery 29A, C, D, and E. That's referencing if there's any new evidence that it has to be presented. So I'm asking, show me the fucking video of the drone.
Show me the money.
On March 15th, now this is all an addendum to my motion to dismiss at this point. On March 15th, 2023, Mr. Ballin received a package from the McDowell County Prosecutor's Office with the West Virginia State Lab report and data from his GoPro and iPhone. Mr. Ballin inquired about the drone footage. GoPro or iPhone video footage included. Magistrate court rules, right? On March 16th, one day later, I contacted the McDowell County Magistrate Court to tell them he would be in the following day to file motions in court. Here's the motions. I got the evidence. I got more evidence, which was my GoPro and my iPhone and no drone footage. So I filed for a motion to continue because there was like 30,000 files on this thumb drive, 1 gig. So I filed for a motion to continue to review. I say here. The Trooper Jones has delayed this court by inferring that drone footage of the alleged trespass existed, and he was going to retrieve the footage the following week between the dates of 2/20 and 2/24, when it was finished downloading by the West Virginia State Police Digital Forensics Unit. Prosecutor motion for continuance attached. 5 days until trial. On 3/16/23, the prosecutor's office informed the defendant via U.S. Postal Service a thumb drive inside with a purple sticky note stuck to it. Quote, this footage from your GoPro, there was not any drone footage, Jason. That ain't even a fucking lawyer. Jason is the fucking secretary. He answers the phone. And Jason's a cool dude. I've talked to him a lot. Right? Jason and I get along. So the prosecutor asked for a continuance based upon Trooper Jones' assertion of drone footage being downloaded at the West Virginia State Police Lab. This footage most likely was never being downloaded and or existed at all, nor even mentioned as evidence in this trial until Trooper Jones, out of the blue, finds but does not find drone footage of the trespass. Come on, who's going to write a motion like that?
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Okay, Rule 29.
Yeah. Stick them.
Rule.
You sticking them like no lawyer would ever write anything remotely sticking them like that.
Certainly
Fuck
not
no.
a public defender, right?
Fuck no. They ain't getting paid enough to do these motions. First off, and
Less
they ain't
than
gonna
$200
burn bridges.
150 for most misdemeanor. That's what they get per person. $150. Less than 200 for a felony in Florida and other places. They're not going to spend days filing motions.
No.
They don't want to spend 2 minutes for that price.
Right. They want to get you in and out so they can get the next guy in.
That's the
Right.
point. No
Plus, they're not
justice. No justice.
Right. Plus, they're not going to burn bridges. They're not going to fucking fall on the sword for you because they got to deal with these fuckers in the other trials that they got.
Another good point, yeah.
And they aren't going to piss the judge off.
That's what it mostly is. They don't want it. That's what it is.
Hey, man, we
They don't
talked
want to keep themselves booted out of the club.
Remember, we talked about it. That's why when I was looking for a lawyer for my case, I looked out of town. I wanted motherfuckers that didn't deal with these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Say if you can get one out of state, even better.
Well,
They like the further away, the better.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you can get one even out of, counties away, they don't deal with them.
They count on that you're going to need either a public defender or a local fucking bar member. They count on that.
Yeah.
See, when Trooper Jones arrested me, he was all snide about it. Well, I'll see you in court. You got your court date, like they like to say, right? I'm not going to litigate this alongside the road. You got your court date, and I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you there too. But he didn't believe me. He
Man,
thought it was just some slut.
Trooper John would wear out shoe leather. That happened in that court so much. The next motherfucker, he will negotiate on the side of the road. You know, I'm gonna make this not worth it to that motherfucker. He gonna be like, I've taken 2 weeks off fucking going to court over this shit different days.
Well, the CEO Willis took a vacation day. He wasn't even there representing the fucking federal government. He was wearing the uniform. Now, how is the federal government going to let this motherfucker get up on the stand and allege trespassing on federal property, not in a federal court? But that's not here nor there. It's called MO's Memorandum of Understanding that the local police or state police can enforce laws on federal property.
Yeah, I saw that.
A memorandum of understanding.
I didn't know the name of the document, but I just made a video. Actually, I ain't even dropped it yet. I didn't finish it. But it's the same thing. Maybe I did drop it, but it was the same thing. The guy was saying that they had the power on federal land to make certain arrests and trespasses whatnot.
The same thing if a prosecutor at a county level wants to prosecute, they got to get a memorandum of understanding that from the federal prosecutors that they could prosecute in a county court or any other court other than federal. And I've mentioned that in one of these. Excuse me. I mentioned that in one of these filings. Okay, I'm hitting all the bases here. Okay, anything from anybody else?
Yeah, question. Just one question. So if they got this memorandum of understanding, that means they can prosecute for federal laws violations or just for state laws that are on federal property?
They could prosecute a federal crime in a state court.
Okay.
So anybody else? All right.
And they did have this memorandum of understanding.
I haven't found that out yet. Nobody's answered me. I filed my motion to disqualify and I added that in. The prosecutor hasn't even presented a memorandum of understanding at this point to even prosecute my case.
Hey, Matt, didn't you find out that they didn't even rule on these?
Well,
remember you were, huh?
There are some of them that the judge answered in pre-trial, but he never answered with the official document. On my motion, there's a thing that says ruling right at the bottom. They have never sent me a timestamp copy of his response. And they should have, but that'll all play out if I go to appeal. All of this stuff that I'm writing is appealable to the next level. And I have no fear of a conviction down here because it is an instant appealable. What I'm writing in these motions is an instant appeal. So, anybody else? All right.
I think it's muted again.
Hey, did you mute yourself?
I just wanted to avoid any background noise for a minute.
Yeah.
No, Matt. Okay.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Rule 29, if discovery has been timely requested, is not, for good reason shown, available to be produced in a timely manner, either the state or the defense may request or be granted a continuance to facilitate production of the requested material. I asked for a continuance because they dropped it on me in the last minute, like they like to do. So that's the second continuance that was granted. And that's why the judge said that the timely trial is out the window. Okay, the thumb drive that was not given to the defendant by the prosecution contains over 13,000 files. The thumb drive was not given to the defendant by the prosecution contained thousands of images hundreds of videos, and they were all videos that didn't pertain to anything. 3 West Virginia State Digital Forensic Unit reports and analysis by C.M. McCabe. As you know, the prosecutor has a fully funded taxpayer staff to throw at this volume of research and analysis of information. I am but one man with a mountain of documents dumped on me at the last minute, 5 days before trial.
You probably ain't the first cat they done it to, bro.
Oh yeah, they dumped all that information on him, like boom, just so much information. It was crazy.
Yeah. So that was one. Let me go over here to get this one. 2.
Dirty motherfuckers.
Come on, you're not responding. You could do it. All right. 16. On March 21st, 2023, Mr. Ballin contacted Magistrate Mitchell's office to follow up on the motion with the court. He didn't give me an answer to that motion to continue. On March 27th, Mr. Ballin contacted the McDowell County Prosecutor's Office inquiring about the West Virginia State Police Crime Lab report and the return of his property. On April 13th, 2023, Mr. Ballin contacted Magistrate Mitchell's office to follow up on a new trial date. On August 30th, 2028, Magistrate Mitchell's office called to let Mr. Ballin know that the trial date was set for August 30th, 2023. They sent the notice to appear via U.S. Postal Service, and it was kicked back to them undelivered. Isn't that funny? On August 30th, around 3 p.m., before trial, Mr. Ballin was sitting in the waiting room at the Magistrate Mitchell's office in Welsh, West Virginia, when Trooper Jones stood outside the magistrate's door offering Mr. Ballin a plea deal. Mr. Ballin's choice was to either plead guilty to trespassing and the obstruction charge would go away, be dropped, or plead guilty of obstructing and the trespassing charge would be dropped. Mr. Ballin denied Trooper Jones's plea deal because Trooper Jones is not in the judicial branch. He is in the executive branch. Therefore, any agreement by the defendant was made in fear of retaliation from Trooper Jones.
Damn, you weren't playing. I lit a fire under your ass, didn't I, bro? What the fuck?
Hey, why is Trooper Jones acting as the judicial branch prosecutor to offer a plea deal with the defendant?
Good old boys. Good old boys.
B.
Yeah, but one thing, Matt.
Yes, go ahead.
One thing, Tugger. The prosecutor's in the executive branch.
But not Trooper Jones.
Right. Yes, he's in the executive branch.
No. The prosecutor is not. It's a judicial branch. The prosecutor is a member of the court.
Yeah, but they in the executive branch of government. They're not with the judges.
They are in the judicial branch. I'm almost positive of that. But I'll look into that, Cajun Randy. I mean, I'll believe you. I will believe you because you're smarter than I am.
I'm just an old Cajun.
So maybe I'm in error, but as a pro se litigant, I'm allowed to make errors that aren't willful errors. Right? I'm not trying to mislead anybody. It was an error. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I certainly agree with that. There's nothing wrong with your motion.
All right. Thank you, Cajun Randy, for that. I'll look into that. Is Prosecutor Puckett sending Trooper Jones to offer Mr. Ballin a threat or a plea
DA
deal?
is part of the executive branch.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. But you'll see here. West Virginia Rule of Criminal Procedure number 11E1. The attorney for the state, emphasis added, there's that legalese again, and the attorney for the defendant or the defendant, when he's acting pro se, may engage in direct discussion with the view towards reaching an agreement that upon the enter of a plea of guilty or nolo contender to charged offenses or to lesser or related offenses, the attorney for the state, emphasis added, will do the following. There is nothing in that rule that says the cops can give you a plea deal.
No, that I agree. That's
Hey, can I say? Can I say some? Can I say some? That would be like the cops going giving. That would be like the cops going and giving your lawyer a plea deal. It would never happen. So exactly what you said, it was a threat because you're your own lawyer. The cops should never be talking to you. The cops should never talk to your lawyer. You understand that?
That's dope.
So why is the cop coming offering you a deal when you're your lawyer? You understand what I'm saying, right?
It's pro bono.
So it's crazy. They should not even. He shouldn't even be talking to you.
Yes.
Wild and wonderful.
I see that as official misconduct.
There you go.
It is judicial misconduct. And yes, Joe Cole, I am pro se and pro bono. I'm paying myself.
I hope you're paying yourself well.
I try to. 22. At trial, Mr. Ballant objects to the video evidence not given to him in discovery. Number 23. Magistrate Mitchell asked the prosecutor Puckett, how long are the videos? Unquote. Trooper Jones, sitting at the prosecutor's table, responded to the judge. 2 videos lasting 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Magistrate Mitchell affirmed the showing of the video to Mr. Ballant. All the prosecutor's video evidence appeared to be on Trooper Jones's West Virginia State laptop. Trooper Jones asked the prosecutor something to the effect, do you want to go into the room and watch the videos? Trooper Jones, with his West Virginia State laptop in tote, entered the conference room first, then Mr. Ballant second, and then Miss Puckett third. Fuck it. A. Why is Trooper Jones in the conference room acting as if he is in the judicial branch? And I'll change that. Assistant prosecutor. Thank you, Cajun Randy. Number 25.
Yeah, he shouldn't be there. He's going to say he was just in there to keep order or something like that.
As Mr. Ballant is in the doorway, he looks back over Miss Puckett's right shoulder and observes Lieutenant Looney on the stand, pointing at Mr. Ballant.
He's a loony.
Lieutenant Looney then looks at the magistrate and whispers something to him. Number 26. While in the conference room, Mr. Ballant and Miss Puckett were standing. Trooper Jones sat down at the table and played 2 videos that were not the correct videos, as Mr. Ballant argued in his objection moments before. Mr. Ballant said that Trooper Jones, Ricky Bobby Sue Jones, just like there was no drone footage, I said, that you delayed this trial for, unquote. Trooper Jones, in an angry and intimidating fashion, told Mr. Ballant, quote, this is a courtroom, and if you continue, I will arrest you for willful disruption of government process.
Oh, man, that's a first.
Mr. Ballant immediately sat down to watch the videos being played at full volume while Miss Puckett kept the door cracked so all in the courtroom could hear the full volume of the videos being played.
Oh, she fucked up.
Chapter 61, Crimes and Their Punishment. And you have to reference these things whenever you're alleging this. 61-527. Intimidation and retaliation against a public officer and employees, jurors, and witnesses. Fraudulent official proceedings and legal process against public officials and employees and the penalties. B, intimidation and harassment. It is unlawful for a person to use intimidating, physical force, harassment, fraudulent legal processes, or official proceedings, or to threaten to do so where such threat is directed at inciting or producing imminent lawless action of a violent nature that could cause bodily harm or is likely to incite or produce such action or to attempt to do so with the intent to, number 2, impede or obstruct a juror or witness, and I can be a witness, from performing his or her official duty in official proceeding. Number 3, influence, delay, or prevent the testimony of any person in an official proceeding. Taking me to jail will do that, Trooper Jones. Ricky Bobby Sue. C, retaliation. It is unlawful for a person to cause injury or loss to a person or property, or to threaten to do so where such threat is directed at inciting or producing imminent lawless action of a violent nature that could cause bodily harm and is likely to incite or produce such action or to attempt to do so with the intent to. Number 2, retaliate against a juror or witness performing his or her official duty in an official proceeding. Or number 3, retaliation against any other person for attending, testifying, participating in an official proceeding, or the production of any record, document, or other object produced by a person in an official proceeding. Get it? Is it not beautiful? What I'm doing is I'm completely saying that this motherfucker from the get-go has been harassing and intimidating an officer of the court and a witness and an attendee of an official proceeding. And he's trying to use law to do it. Willful disruption of a government process. Where did he get that? He got that from Randolph County. That's what I was charged with for interfering in a government process of a public meeting.
Hey, he knows Elvin.
They talked.
No shit.
Of course they did. Brittany and Lecta polling both discussed this. That's why I dispatched my charges in Randolph County the way I did. She threatened me. She said, I don't care about what happened down in McDowell County, which was a threat that I took seriously. How do you know I was arrested in McDowell County? They could have revoked my bond for being arrested.
They talked to fuck it.
They talked to fucking pocket.
And they were both fucking.
And Trooper Ricky Bobby Sue Jones. That's
and
why
Bobby
he threw,
Elvin.
and Bobby Elvon. That's what they fucking did. They conspired. And they were going to fucking conspire to get me all caught up in dates. I'm going to set my trial for this date, and you set your trial for that date. You can't be both places.
Down.
Can't be in both places. And that's what they were trying to do. So I avoided that situation. I'm only fighting one fucking trial at a time. That's my intent. Here we go. Mr. Ballin observed Miss Puckett purposefully pulling on the doorknob and opening and closing the door slightly while the video played. The defendant's voice on the video being played was at full volume for all to hear inside the courtroom, including the witness, Lieutenant Looney, the jury, and Magistrate Mitchell.
That's funny, Looney.
Oh, I need to make this A. Need to make that A. Okay. While in the conference room, Mr. Ballin witnessed quite a bit of talking and loud commotion going on out in the courtroom due to the fact that Miss Puckett had her hand on the doorknob of the door the entire time inside the private conference room, in brackets, emphasis added. Don't you love it? You're going to use it, Joe Cole. I'm telling you. opening and closing the door slightly depending on the volume inside the sequestered, in quotes, conference room. When the sound in the conference room was loud, Miss Puckett cracked the door open wider. This is how Mr. Ballin was able to witness the sights and sounds of Lieutenant Looney testifying under oath while in the absence of either legal representation.
Fuck it, probably does have a big crack.
This video was almost over when Mr. Ballin noticed on Trooper Jones's laptop at least 30 more videos from, video files that were not originally received in the initial discovery from the prosecutor. Mr. Ballin then proceeded to go into the courtroom to object one more time about the volume of 30 videos on the laptop he never received in reciprocal discovery. Magistrate number 28, Magistrate Mitchell continued the trial until further notice. Number 29, Trooper Jones is an individual acting in many capacities that the defense fails to understand. Sorry, Richard, you jumped out there for a second. Is Trooper Jones acting as a legislator, making up his own obstruction laws alongside the road? B, is Trooper Jones acting as a state trooper, ignoring legislative obstructing laws alongside the road? Is Trooper Jones a witness?
That's what they do all the time on the side of the road. They make up their own laws.
Why do you think I put it in here?
I know. I just had to laugh with that. They don't need to be in that courtroom doing that. They do it all the time, all day long.
Is Trooper Jones acting a witness or a lead investigator testifying at trial? D, is Trooper Jones acting as a prosecutor to offer pleas and to convict on legislative obstruction laws? And if so, can Trooper Jones then offer plea deals to any arrested pro se defendant moments after placing them in handcuffs? Very good question. E, is Trooper Jones acting as magistrate, threatening to hold Mr. Ballin in contempt and then arresting him for willful disruption of government process for Mr. Ballin simply asking questions of the opposing counsel while in a private, in brackets, room, emphasis added, there you go again, sequestered from witnesses and judge? Number 30, the defense is at a loss to understand what role Miss Puckett has Trooper Jones in. Is Miss Puckett prosecutor or is Trooper Jones? The defendant asked this court to define who is prosecuting this case. Good question so far, right?
Yeah.
Number 31.
Yeah, because he certainly does seem to be 1 minute executive branch, 1 minute executive legislative branch, and then 1 minute judicial branch. You got him all three. He needs three acts.
Oh, he's fulfilling all three acts in a matter of a half-hour trial. Throughout September till present, Mr. Ballin has reviewed the discoverable material given to him by Trooper Jones at trial. You notice? Because Trooper Jones gave me the other disc. And several troubling facts have been found so far. A, this copy of the West Virginia State Police Crime Lab report, the videos and data in this batch of discoverable materials given to the defendant during the trial does not match the last saved date, modified date, and timestamp of the reciprocal discovery given to the defendant in previous discoverable materials in March of 2023, 6 months earlier. The March batch received via U.S. Postal Service from Miss Puckett to Mr. Ballin has a timestamp of 1/30/23 at 3:19 p.m. juxtaposed to the discovery given to the defendant from Trooper Jones's laptop at trial. That has a timestamp of 1/30/23, an hour later at 4:19 p.m. You can't use different data with a different timestamp of initial discovery. B, in the March 2023 West Virginia Crime Lab, Miss McCabe, the folder resources was missing, juxtaposed to the discovery by Trooper Jones to Mr. Ballin at trial. The file, quote, resources is present. The file resources is vitally important due to the fact that all HTML links to the West Virginia Crime Lab report are stored in this folder. These HTML files are web browser links to the original copy of Miss McCabe's report, including links to all .bin files, which are video files recovered by Miss McCabe. In the March 2023 version of the West Virginia Crime Lab, by Miss McCabe, the one HTML link in that folder is broken, juxtaposed to the version of discovery given to Mr. Ballin by Trooper Jones at trial. This version of the report HTML link works. This link directs you to the entire report and not just a synopsis of the report by Miss McCabe given to Mr. Ballin in the initial discovery in March. The only thing I had access to was her report, what she wrote down. I had no access in the initial discovery to any video files. But when I got it 6 months later,
I know. Remember, we went through all those files. There were so many
yes,
files.
we did, didn't we? There were so many files. D,
It was something stupid, wasn't it? Like
13,000.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
If Mr. Ballin did not object at trial to discoverable materials that he never received before trial, the defendant never would have known that these files existed and were tangibly accessible for review and inspection by him at his leisure. Boom. This is a motion. At this point, Mr. Ballin's due process rights have been violated. He cannot field a proper defense against manipulated evidence. The mere fact that two identical files have been presented to the defendant at discovery phase, at trial, months apart, have two different timestamps, 1 hour apart, indicates two copies of said report. Since the defense had the early copy of these files, folders, and data at the start of the trial, the prosecutor, Ms. Puckett, presented at trial an illegitimate time-stamped version of all files on the West Virginia Crime Lab report completed by Ms. McCabe in February. In this case, there are grounds for all charges to be dropped, the case to be dismissed, and this blemish on Mr. Ballin's clean record be immediately expunged by the court. Isn't it great? What do you think about this motion so far? Anybody?
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Everybody's flabbergasted, aren't they?
Oh, I think it's right on. I mean, I could, if I was a judge, I couldn't hardly find any argument with it.
Well, the circuit court judge did.
Well, that's because he's a judge and I'm not.
That's right. And he didn't have the video that I have.
I mean, you know what I mean by that, though.
Yeah.
When I say that, is I should be the judge and he shouldn't be.
Yeah, Joe Cole dropped out.
Okay.
Okay. At this point, number 32, at this point, Mr. Ballin, I already read that. Number 33, the Sixth Amendment guarantees the right of a criminal defense, the right to a public trial without unnecessary delay, and the nature of the charges and evidence against him. The 14th Amendment guarantees the right to due process. Trooper Jones placed the cart before the horse as he had no probable cause of an initial crime to arrest the defendant for a secondary charge of obstruction, which makes the trespassing charge fruit from a poisonous tree. The state, Miss Puckett and Trooper Jones have shown that they cannot act in good faith in many areas of this case, including but not limited to frivolous motions for continuance due to newly acquired drone footage that never existed.
I told you he had a drone flying over you. It got out, came out the trunk when he got out on the stop. It was flying. You didn't see it?
Yeah.
You didn't hear it, man?
I think, you should have put fraudulent on there instead of frivolous.
Right, because it was fraudulent. It was a lie. And I told you it was a lie from the beginning.
Yep.
Well, I think they get the picture. I just said that the whole process has been fraudulent, which includes that. The prosecutors delaying discovery to the defendant up to 5 days before trial violates Rule 29D, discovery and misdemeanor actions. The timing of discovery from the state. If discovery is requested by the defendant, the relevant discoverable materials shall be provided at least 21 days in advance of the date of trial, provided that the request has been made at least 14 days in advance of the date of the response is due. Which they gave me the shit 5 days before the original trial was supposed to start. Number 37, the defendant is shown with his timestamp motions to this court and by the actions of the prosecutor and Trooper Jones that during this case, they have defrauded this court and arbitrarily stripped many of the civil rights from the defendant. Does that satisfy you?
There you go.
Paige and Randy?
I'm good. I'm good with that. That's for sure.
Number 38, the defendant charges that through omission of evidence, the prosecution or Trooper Jones and or both have hidden from this court and the defendant exculpatory video evidence, HTML links, folders, and files acquired by Trooper Jones from the West Virginia State Police Forensics Lab that prove that there was no crime committed by the defendant the day of his arrest on August 6, 2022. Number 39, the defendant filed a timestamp motion with this court on March 17, 2023 for the return of his property. This property was vital to his defense. The defendant has the right to view his own evidence on his own property that was produced by him. The defendant films for contact dissemination. However, a major reason for the defendant to film is to document events for review in case false criminal charges are levied on him by the police. Depending on the prosecutor to spoon feed the defendant his own evidence that has been manipulated benefits the prosecutor and injures the defendant. This is classic judicial misconduct and fraud on this court. Who is going to fucking write motions like this?
You're right. They just not gonna ever. You're never gonna see anybody write that. Only a pro se. Put it that way. Only a pro se would write something like that.
But this isn't a rambling pro se fucking motion. This isn't something that you would expect from a fucking pro se litigant. This is all documented in case law. This is all documented in procedure, court rules, and etiquette. And I name it all.
Seemed like you did a little research there before you wrote that motion.
Like I know what the fuck I'm doing.
I was being so
with the help of my friends. Number 40, the defendant noticed.
Stop yelling at me.
I'm sorry. The defendant noticed at the start of the trial, C.O. Willis was not present to testify against the accused. The defendant has a right to face his accuser. C.O. Willis is the initial phone call complainant to Trooper Jones for this trespassing claim on Indian Ridge Access Road that day. Trooper Jones, while on the scene, bypassed Lieutenant Looney and the self-proclaimed acting warden of FCI McDowell, quote, the lady in red, to interview C.O. Willis first. C.O. Willis and the acting warden, the lady in red, were not at trial to testify against the defendant whom they accuse of trespassing on restricted FCI property. Number 41. The prosecutor has yet to provide any documentation giving her the authority or jurisdiction to prosecute federal trespass statute 18 U.S. Code 1752, restricted buildings or grounds, in McDowell County Magistrate Court. Indian Ridge Access Road is a public access and not restricted. Therefore, defendant was not in a restricted area of FCI McDowell. Up to this point, the defendant has proven judicial misconduct under the Code of Judicial Conduct for all three individual government entities involved in this case. Judge canons. This is the canons that the judge must follow. Must follow. Number one, a judge shall uphold and promote the independence, integrity, and impartiality of the judiciary, and shall avoid impropriety and the appearance of impropriety. Did you see the fucking trial? Is that follow canon number one? No. Rule 1.1, compliance with the law. A judge shall comply with the law, including the West Virginia Code of Judicial Conduct. Rule 2.1, confidence in the judiciary. A judge shall act at all times in the manner that promotes public confidence in the independence, integrity, and impartiality of the judiciary, and shall avoid impropriety and the appearance of impropriety. The appearance. Comment on that one. Public confidence in the judiciary is eroded by improper conduct and conduct that creates the appearance of impropriety. This principle applies to both the professional and personal conduct of a judge. Number two, a judge should expect to be the subject of public scrutiny that might be viewed as burdensome if applied to other citizens, and must accept the restrictions imposed by the code. 3, conduct that comprises or appears to compromise the independence, integrity, and impartiality of the judge undermines public confidence in the judiciary because it is not practicable to list all such conduct. A rule is necessarily cast in general terms. Number 5, actual improprieties, including violations of the law, court rules, or provisions of this code. The test for appearance of impropriety is whether the conduct would create in reasonable minds a perception that the judge violated this code or engaged in other conduct, reflects adversely on the judge's honesty, impartiality, temperament, or fitness to serve as a judge. Canon number 2, you've got to mention these things when you file motions. You can't just accuse. You have to put down what you're talking about. A judge shall perform the duties of judicial office impartially, competently, and diligently. Number 2, Rule 2.2, impartiality and fairness. A judge shall uphold and apply the law and shall perform all duties of judicial office fairly and impartially. I didn't think that was fair and impartial what he was doing with Lieutenant Looney while they were on the stand, and I was sequestered in a room for privacy. Number 4, it is not a violation of this rule for a judge to make reasonable accommodation to ensure a pro se litigant the opportunity to have their matters handled fairly or heard fairly. I didn't see that in that trial, did you? I didn't. Okay. Number 2.3, Rule 2.3 of the canons of judicial conduct. A judge shall perform the duties of judicial office, including administrative duties, without bias or prejudice. B, a judge shall not, in the performance of judicial duties, by words or conduct manifest bias or prejudice, or engage in harassment, including but not limited to bias, prejudice, or harassment based upon race, sex, gender, religion, national origin, ethnicity, disability, age, I'm 56, I'm 58, sorry, sexual orientation, marital status, socioeconomic status, or political affiliation. I'm sure they hate me because of that one. They know who the fuck I am. I'm one of them January 6 motherfuckers.
You
They would like to put
insurgent.
you in that category.
You insurgent.
I'm an insurgent.
Hey, now that's a fancy word.
Brittany Puckett is a Democrat elected district attorney. She hates my fucking guts just because she thinks I'm of a opposite political party, which I'm not.
You're
And shall
just an
not-
insurgent.
And this is important, and shall not permit court staff, court officials, or others subject to the judge's direction and or control to do so. C, a judge shall require lawyers in proceedings before the court to refrain from manifesting bias. What did fucking Puckett do? Open up the door, didn't she? So that everybody in the courtroom could hear that video that I objected to. She manifested a bias because Looney responded to it. If he would have sat there and kept his fucking mouth shut and his eyes not rolling.
See, this is how he is.
See, this is how he is, and he loves me. Or engage in harassment, which Trooper Jones did in that room, but he wasn't privy to it, based upon attributes including but not limited to race, sex, gender, religion, blah, blah, blah. Against parties, witnesses, lawyer, or others. Comment, a judge who manifests bias or prejudice in a proceeding impairs the fairness of the proceeding and brings the judiciary into disrepute.
Hey, now I like that. Disrepute. I like that.
I do too. It's a beautiful word. Number two, examples
That's a word
of
you don't see too much, though.
No. Examples of manifestations of bias or prejudice include, but not limited to, the epithets. What did he say? What's an epithet? He loves me. See, this is what he likes.
That would be an epithet.
This is what he's like. Slurs, demeaning nicknames, negative stereotypes, attempting humor based upon stereotypes, threatening, intimidating, or hostile acts. Suggestions of connections between race, ethnicity, or nationality and crime, and irreverent references to the personal characteristics. What did he do? A judge must avoid conduct that may reasonably be perceived as judicial bias. You hear me, Judge? Magistrate Mitchell, 47 years on the bench. You don't know this by now, you cocksucker? Yes,
No, he just thinks he's beyond that by now. He's just, I'm 40. What you said, 40-something years? Oh, I'm beyond that. I wouldn't be here 40-something years if I was biased. That's going to be in his head.
Right. You hearing me, Brittany? Fucking Puckett. Or you hearing me, Ricky Bobby Sue Jones? And all of you naysayers down there in McDowell County that comment on my videos that you don't want me back there. I brought this on by myself, they're saying. So you keep on up with your fucking trolling, negative fucking comments that I brought this upon myself, and we don't want you back here. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Because I'm coming back. And you're going to love me for it. You're not going to hate me. You're going to love me for it. So this goes out to you fucking Martin II, his name is. Forget his first name. It's a weird fucking name. So Mr. Martin, who has no fucking videos on their YouTube channel, who doesn't have any fucking, it's a government guy. If it's a guy, government sticks together, even to the point where they're going to comment on my fucking page over a fucking trial video, the actual trial video that shows actual misconduct. So keep it up, Mr. Martin II, douchebag. Okay. And if you're on here or if you're watching this later, Mr. Martin, I'm hammering you with fucking facts. I'm hammering you with court rules, etiquette, and canons of judicial conduct. So fuck you too. Here we go. Number 2.4, external influences on judicial conduct. A judge shall not be swayed by public clamor or fear of criticism. A judge, number B, or letter B, a judge shall not permit family, social, political, financial, or other interests or relationships to influence the judge's judicial conduct or judgments. C, a judge shall not convey or permit others to convey the impression that any person or organization is in a position to influence the judge. Well, isn't that what he did by letting Lieutenant Looney yap on the fucking stand, or even be on the stand at all while this is going on in that closed room? Stop yelling at me. Okay.
See, this is what he's like.
This is what I'm like. An independent judiciary requires that a judge decide cases according to the law and facts without regard to whether particular laws or litigants are popular or unpopular with the public, the media, government officials, or the judge's friends or family. Confidence in the judiciary is eroded if the judicial decision-making is perceived to be subject to inappropriate outside influence. Why was Looney telling you this is what he's like? Why was Looney fist bumping you, Judge? Rule 2.6.
Yeah, that's the same as him testifying right there. And
that's exactly right. And it's ex parte communication because he could hear what was going on in that room. So could the judge. And this is where it comes down. He would have been fine. The judge, you hear me, Judge? I know you've read this motion, Judge. Not judge, magistrate. You are so far away from a judge. You're just a lowly fucking magistrate. But here we go. Ensuring the right to be heard. A judge shall accord to every person who has a legal interest in the proceeding or that person's lawyer the right to be heard according to the law. B, a judge may encourage parties to a proceeding and their lawyers to settle matters in dispute, but shall not act in a manner that coerces any party in the settlement. Comment. The right to be heard is an essential component of a fair and impartial system of justice. Substantive rights of litigants can be protected only if procedures protecting the right to be heard are observed. Number 2, the judge plays an important role in overseeing the settlement of disputes, but should be careful that efforts to further settlements do not undermine any party's right to be heard according to the law. The judge should keep in mind the effects that a judge's participation in a settlement discussions may have, not only on the judge's own view of the case, but also on the perception of the lawyers and the parties in the case remain with the judge after settlement efforts are unsuccessful. Among the factors that a judge should consider when deciding upon an appropriate settlement practice for a case are: 1, whether the parties have requested a voluntary consent requested or voluntarily consented to a certain level of participation by the judge in the settlement. We have to ask the judge, we can't do this without you, judge. So, hey, can you help us? Number two, whether the parties and their counsel are relatively sophisticated in legal matters. Three, whether the case will be tried by a judge or jury, which this is a bench trial, which it shouldn't be, because I asked for a jury trial. Number four, whether the parties participate with their counsel in a settlement discussion. Number five, whether any parties are unrepresented by counsel, which I am. Whether the matter is civil or criminal, and whether the case is pending before a special tribunal, such as a mass litigate panel, blah, blah, blah. Rule 2.8, this is of canon of judicial conduct. Decorum, demeanor, and communication with jurors. A judge shall require order and decorum in the proceedings before the court. Did he do that? Fucking bailiffs eating donuts and drinking coffee, talking to the witness on the stand, the fucking cackling fucking court clerk bitch that is cackled the whole fucking time, talking to the witness on the stand. What the fuck does she have to do with this case, Judge? Why is she talking to the defendant who is still on the stand? Why are you still in the fucking room with all these people, Judge? Oh, I'm in a private room where it can't be heard? Nope.
Nope, because you open the door all the time.
Right. A judge shall be patient, dignified, and courteous to litigants, jurors, witnesses, lawyers, court staff, court officials, excuse me, and others with whom the judge deals in an official capacity, and shall require similar conduct of lawyers, court staff, court officials, and other subject to the judge's discretion and control, or direction and control. Now, did he do that? He let the fucking witness just ramble on, stick his face. You fist bumped the witness on the stand, Judge. Magistrate. Comment one. The duty to hear all proceedings with patience and courtesy is not inconsistent with the duty imposed in Rule 2.5 to dispose properly of the business of the court. Judges can be efficient and businesslike while being patient and deliberate. Here we go. 2.9, ex parte communication. A judge shall not initiate, permit, or consider ex parte communication or consider other communication made to the judge outside the presence of the parties or their lawyers concerning a pending or impending matter, which it was. I objected. So that matter was pending in a sealed room that wasn't sealed. Except as follows. Number one, when circumstances require it, ex parte communication for scheduling administrative emergency purposes, which does not address substantive matters, is permitted, provided A, the judge reasonably believes that no party will gain a procedural, substantive, or tactical advantage as a result of the ex parte communication, and B, the judge makes provisions promptly to notify all other parties of the substance of the ex parte communication and gives the party an opportunity to respond. Did you do that, Judge? Magistrate. When we come out of that room, you knew you could hear what was going on in there. Ex parte doesn't have to be direct. It can be indirect, and this fucking Puckett knew it. That's why she kept the door open.
Mm-hmm.
A judge may consult with court staff and court officials whose functions are said or to aid the judge in carrying out the judge's adjudicatives, and with other judges, provided that the judge makes no reasonable effort to avoid receiving factual information. Okay, he can talk to anybody he wants as long as it's not about the case. A judge may, with the consent of
Hold on.
Go ahead.
But when Looney made that comment, it was about the case. You get it? See, Judge, this
Yep.
is how he is.
That's right.
So
That's
that was
right.
about the case.
That's right. Looney was so comfortable in front of that judge that he just fucking let his mouth loose, you stupid fucker. Just as I told you that day, you're a fucking idiot. Looney, are you watching this? That's all, folks. A judge may initiate, permit, or consider any ex parte communication when expressly authorized by law to do so. B, if a judge inadvertently receives an unauthorized ex parte communication bearing upon the substance of the matter, the judge shall make provisions promptly to notify the parties of the substance of the communication and provide the parties with an opportunity to respond. Did you do that, magistrate? Did you give me an opportunity to hear that you were fucking talking with you were fist bumping? I would like to have an opportunity to ask you why you fist bumped the fucking witness. Was that because he said this is what he's like? Is that because he said, he loves me and you fist bumped him? C, a judge shall not investigate facts in a matter independently and shall consider only the evidence presented and any facts that may properly be judicially noticed. A judge shall make reasonable efforts, including providing appropriate supervision to ensure that this rule is not violated by court staff, court officials, Miss fucking Puckett, and others subject to the judge's discretion and control. I'm not under your control, Judge, as long as I stay within the fucking rules and law. They are held to the same standard. Who broke the fucking rules here, Judge? I objected. That's all I did. Magistrate? Comment number 1. This is judicial canons for judges and their conduct. Comment 1. To the extent reasonably possible, all parties or their lawyers shall be included in communication with the judge. Your Honor? Number 2. Whenever the presence of a party or notice to a party is required by this rule, it is the party's lawyer, or if the party is unrepresented, the party who is to be present or to whom notice is given. The prescription against communication concerning a proceeding includes communications with lawyers, lawyer teachers, and other persons who are not participants in the proceeding, except to the limited extent permitted by the rule. Why is Looney talking to the fucking bailiff? Is the bailiff party to this? And now do I get to ask him or subpoena him to the stand to testify on behalf of the state? What about your law clerk right there? Your court clerk, Judge, the cackling bitch. Why is she running her fucking mouth? Judge, magistrate? Number 6. The prohibition against a judge investigating the facts as a matter extends to investigating the facts in a matter extend to information available in all mediums, including electronic. Importantly, this provision is not intended to refer to routine court records available from the bench, as long as the records are disclosed to the subject for review of both parties. Well, he doesn't keep any records. I asked for transcripts from this court, and he told me he just keeps notes. And I'm not allowed to have them notes. So now I don't have any record. of the trial, but I do because I
See,
am
this is
not
how he
fucking
is.
stupid. I'm not going to go in there and fucking have my head chopped off without evidence. Stupid fucker. A judge may request a party to submit proposed findings of facts and conclusion of law, which I'm doing right now, magistrate, so long as the other parties are apprised of the request or given an opportunity to respond to the proposed findings and conclusions. Rule 2.1, judicial statements on pending and impending cases. A judge shall not make any public statements, blah, blah, blah. He can't go out there and say anything public. Okay. The judge shall not, in connection with cases, controversies, or issues that are likely to come before the court, make pledges, promises, or commitments that are inconsistent with the important performance of the judicial duties of judicial office. C, a judge shall require court staff, court officials, and other subjects to the judge's direction and control to refrain from making statements that the judge would be prohibited from making by paragraph A and B. Okay. Depending on the circumstances, the judge should consider whether it may be preferable for a third party rather than the judge to respond or issue statements in connection. Okay, that's about public statements. Disqualification. A judge shall disqualify himself or herself in any proceeding in which the judge's impartiality might reasonably be questioned. Reasonably be questioned, not proven. Including but not limited to the following circumstances. B, a judge having knowledge that a lawyer has committed a violation of the rules of professional conduct that raises a substantial question regarding the lawyer's honesty, trustworthiness, or fitness as a lawyer in other respects shall inform the appropriate authority. You knew that Miss fucking Puckett had the door open. You could hear the conversation going on inside between me and the prosecutor and the trooper. D, a judge having knowledge indicating a substantial likelihood that a lawyer has committed a violation of the rule of professional conduct shall take the appropriate action. Number 1, comment. Take action to address known misconduct as a judge's obligation. Paragraph A and B impose an obligation on the judge to report to the appropriate disciplinary authorities the known misconduct of other judges or lawyers that raises a substantial question regarding the honesty, trustworthiness, the fitness of a judge or lawyer. Ignoring or denying known misconduct among one judicial colleague or member of the legal profession undermines a judge's responsibility to participate in efforts to ensure public respect for the justice system. This rule limits the reporting obligation to those offenses that an independent judiciary must vigorously endeavor to prevent. Number 2, a judge who has knowledge indicate a substantial likelihood of misconduct by other judges, lawyers, is required to take appropriate action under paragraphs C and D. Appropriate actions may include, but not limited to, communicating directly with a judge who may have violated this code. That's what I'm doing with you now, a magistrate. Communicating with a supervising judge or reporting the suspected violation to the appropriate authorities or any other agencies or body. Similarly, actions to be taken in response to information indicating that a lawyer has committed a violation of the rules of professional conduct may include, but are not limited to, communications directly with the lawyer who may have committed the violation or reporting the suspected violation to the appropriate authorities or other agencies or body. Last one. Rule 2.16, cooperation with disciplinary authorities. A judge shall cooperate and be candid and honest with judicial and lawyer disciplinary agencies. B, a judge shall not retaliate directly or indirectly against a person known or suspect to have assisted or cooperated with an investigation of a judge or lawyer. I wonder how that's played out since this motion was filed to disqualify. A judge shall not retaliate. Okay, been there, done that. Comment. Number one, cooperation with investigators and proceedings of judicial and lawyer disciplinary agencies, as required in paragraph A, instills confidence in judges, commitment to the integrity of the judicial system, and the protection of the public. Administrative rules for magistrate court. And there you go. That is my motion to dismiss my case. What do y'all think?
I think you got a lot of good points there. I don't see how any fair judge could look at this, look at the videos, and then look at the motions and disagree with them.
Nat, good to see you. Hey, J. Curvet or Curvet, good to see you. Yeah, that's French, Randy.
Curvet?
Curvet with a T at the end.
Yeah, but you don't pronounce the T at the end in French. It's just J. Corvet.
If you want up on the StreamYard, just go ahead and come on, get on up there. It's coming. I just posted it and said here. There. If you want to come up on StreamYard to let me know about my motion to dismiss, that's a motion to dismiss. Now I'm going to use the exact same. I'm going to use the exact same document in my motion to change venue. So I'm going to file two motions, one to dismiss case and one to change venue. Change venue because I cannot at this point get a fair and impartial hearing. The motion to dismiss is based upon civil rights violations, due process, court rules, court etiquette, judicial conduct. I've touched on all of them. Oh, that's all right, Nat. Just rewind whenever I'm done. You're always late, Nat. I mean, dang, get out of that bubble bath and get on to the fucking internet. Damn. You know it. So I'm going to use both of them. I'm going to use that same language on both dismissal and change of venue. They're going to have to decide both. So I'm going to file on one day the dismissal. I'm going to wait 2 days, and then I'm going to file for change of venue. Now, the magistrate, has 5 days after he received back from the circuit judge the disqualification motion that I filed, that this magistrate can continue to hear my case, my trial. He has 5 days to set another trial date. How many days has it been, magistrate? It's been almost 2 fucking weeks. I should have had that notification by now, according to the rules of the court, magistrate court. What's the delay, magistrate? Why are you delaying? Why did it take 2 months for my disqualification motion to be decided? That also requires a 5-day reviewing and ruling. I've waited you bastards out is what I've done. You think you motherfuckers are coy and all of that by delaying? No, that favors me, you stupid fuckers. Because it shows everything that I've written in all of my motions to be true. Does that sound right? I have let these sons of bitches hang themselves.
Yeah. Well, they don't give a damn. What the hell? They might as well be in Hooterville, you know? It don't matter.
They don't give a fuck. I'm going to make them give a fuck.
That's what you got to do.
So on my platform here, I'm allowed to call you a dirty, rotten motherfucker. Anybody. And guess what? You got to fucking take it. But you're going to fucking rule on this motion, which you can't rule on because guess what? I have video evidence of your trial. That in its own right is ex parte communication that you should be seeing. Magistrate. So if I give you the video evidence that I'm in contempt of court for videotaping a trial without asking permission, can you watch that video, magistrate? To see your own corruption, magistrate? I'm kind of putting you in a pinch, aren't I, magistrate? Oops, you fucked up. And this is why all magistrate courts should keep records. At most, video, at least a transcription or audio of it.
Well, I don't even think it's a should be situation. You know, to me, it's something that ought to be state law, period. You got to do it.
The law says that they only have to keep notes at the magistrate level.
That's in this day and age of electronics, digital age, they should have to have full records. I can see it was back when they were still writing with a quill pen, you know.
They want to keep it hidden. They want to keep these magistrate courts hidden because they make so much fucking money off of people pleading out and the misconduct they don't want to show. They want to just run roughshod of you, intimidate you, threaten you, like Trooper Ricky Bobby Sue Jones did to me without any repercussion. But you know what? I'm going to bite the fucking contempt bullet to defend and protect myself. If I didn't, I would not be fair to my client, would I?
There you go.
Which is me.
Yep, I understand. You've got to be fair to you. You got to be overboard fair to you. You're the your client anyway.
Here I am against 5 motherfuckers in that courtroom. 2 bailiffs. I'm sorry, 6. There's a Judge Looney, 2 bailiffs, Ricky Bobby Sue Jones, and the fucking DA. What the fuck do you want me to do? I had to do what I had to do because I knew that you were a dirty, rotten motherfucker, magistrate. You could talk to me all nice and soft and just like they'd like to do. And then they put your ass in jail and they laugh just like that when you're being taken out of the courtroom. I ain't going to let that happen. I'd rather be in contempt than be convicted. Contempt $50 fine. And I have a right to a jury trial. So let's go ahead and play this trial in front of a fucking jury, magistrate. I want a contempt hearing. I want a contempt trial. Give it to me. No, you're probably going to put my ass in jail. And you're probably going to, when I go down there, you're probably going to put me in jail, which is not proper. But I'm going to take it, and you're probably going to put me in there and reschedule my trial for 6 months down the road so that I have to sit in jail for 6 months under contempt until the contempt hearing or trial comes. I'm willing to do that to defend my client and me. Bar members are never going to do that because they'd lose their bar license, their membership card. I could do it. And there's a reason why I didn't ask you if I could film, because I already asked you if you keep a record of it and if I could have it, and you said no. And I don't have to ask you if I'm not going to publish because it's all about the press. Well, now that I published, I'm part of the press. Give me the $50 fine and hold me in contempt. At least the truth is known. And that whenever I do go to jail for it, they're going to be, the people I hope will be up your fucking ass to release me. So if I go to jail, Cajun Randy, if I go to jail, Richard and Nat and Creole and who else? Jay Curvette, Chain Weaver, good to see you. I did not see you. John Eagle, good to see you. Sorry I didn't say hello. I was all involved in reading my motion to dismiss. So I hope if I go down there, when I go down there, Born Free, good to see you. It said this: courts are so corrupt, it takes a miracle to win your case, even when you prove they committed fraud on you. Absolutely. That's why I had to videotape it, because all of it is instant appeal. If I'm convicted, instant. There is no question that I can appeal based upon my motion and what you've done to me and let happen to me. Thank you, Creole. I appreciate that. So, Creole, if I go to jail, I'll let y'all know when the trial date is, the new scheduled trial date. I'll let you know when I'm going. My wife is going to be with me. So she could bail me out. If you can't bail contempt out, that's until the judge tells you could go. But even then, a contempt for misdemeanor isn't a prison sentence. It's not you're going to jail. It's a $50 fine. So if and when I go back down there, and if I get thrown in jail, get the word out, please. I know that I have not garnered a lot of views. I'm not monetized. They aren't pushing my videos. This is the only thing that I've ever asked any of you for help for, is just get the word out amongst different channels. And like I said, John D. Nicola was in there for me in Rogue Nation's show. I think it was on Thursday of last week. Joe Cool was in on there. He was spreading the word about my trial. Please have people view my trial so that they understand that whenever I get thrown in jail, I'm willing to sacrifice myself to expose tyranny in real time. and why the cops get away with what they do, why the prosecutors get away with what they do. Because it's the judges. I audit them all, not like any other auditor. There is no other auditor that does this. Joe Cool files his own motions, argues for himself. Rogue Nation, to a certain extent, argues for himself at times. But Rogue's charged with a felony. You can't represent yourself on a felony. That's stupid. Okay? They try to dissuade you from representing yourself in petty misdemeanor bullshit. When there is no jail time, really, jail time if you've never been convicted of a crime before. I don't think that I've ever seen anybody go into a courtroom, an auditor, and illegally, well, in contempt of court, record their own trial. I don't think I've ever seen anybody write these motions the way I write them, with the help of you people. You people ain't giving me legal advice. You people are helping me understand the legal process better. I don't ask any of you for legal advice. I just ask you for views and your brain on interpreting things. That's not legal advice. Legal advice is preparing it for you and then handing it to you and proclaiming that I represented you or helped you in a way. Yeah, Chili didn't do well. Chili did.
Chili had a lawyer that wasn't worth a shit.
He wasn't worth a shit, but Chili, dude, I like what Chili does. I love the way he breaks down all the case law. But whenever you go in front of a judge, and the first thing you say is that I am a constitutional scholar, and then you proceed to tell them that you don't have a degree, but you were called that by some other people, and the moniker stuck. They look at you like you're a fool. And it doesn't help you. He hurt the judge's feelings by giving a thumbs up when she said, "You just hate all cops." That's not good whenever you're at the point where the sentencing is happening. If he would not have done the thumbs up, the judge would have given 90 days, what they asked for, 90 day and what's it called? Where they let you out. You don't serve any jail time.
Probation.
No, it ain't probation. It's a 90-day not exempt.
Deferred?
No, it's not deferred. It's a 90 days served, right? That you've been punished enough, and that's all we ask for is a fine and maybe some classes. Anger management, certain classes. Yes, suspended. Thank you, Nat. 90 days suspended. That's what the prosecutor asked for. Leave it at that. Chili, leave it at that. But then when the judge says, okay, apparently you hate all cops, and you go like this to her, she's going to hammer you.
Even though it ain't right, that's what's going to happen.
That's exactly right. It isn't right. If the prosecutor's saying 90 days suspended, then, just because you got butt hurt, and that's a contempt thing. She didn't want to hold him in contempt, which she could have, because she told him multiple times to not behave that way in her courtroom, calling the cop a pig. Okay? You could do that all day long on the street, on your channel, but when you get into the courtroom, there are procedures, etiquette, and things that you have to follow. I can say all day long, like I've said all day long today, fuck you, judge, magistrate, Miss Fucking Puckett. I could say that all day long. Ricky Bobby Sue Jones, what a bitch. That's right, Nat. It's never going to make anything better. So they have they have not responded. They have not, the magistrate has not set a new trial date. Why? Supposed to take 5 days. Do I got your fucking panties all in a tushy, all balled up around your belly? What's going on down there, magistrate? Are you reviewing my video of your trial? Your fucking, not even mock, your fucking railroading of me? And do you blame me? Does anybody blame me for videotaping that?
Nope.
I'm
I
up against
encourage it.
I'm up against all tyrannical rogue agents of the state. What the fuck do you think I'm going to do? The underwear balling up. That's right. They have not responded. They got 5 days to reset the trial date. All part of a speedy trial and the fucking rules to get there. But they haven't followed any of the rules. None of them. Zero. They've abused them, and I've shown it. And I've let them do it. I did it strategically. I hit them back in the mouth whenever they did stupid shit. But I didn't give them all. I didn't hit them in the mouth and poke them in the eyes. The poking in the eyes comes afterwards. And with a yuck, yuck, yuck involved. Whoop, 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 whoop. You know?
You do a pretty good curly there.
Yes, and I look like them too. Look at the head. Is that not a curly head? I don't think I'm as funny as him, though. Some people may think I'm funny, but not everybody. So that's what it is. That's what I have to show. Let's see if I missed anything. Yeah, I did miss things, but I've already done a show on the evidence and the PowerPoint presentation between two thumb drives. I'm not going to bore you with that. You just know that that there are two different copies of the thumb drives, and that right there is tampering with evidence, bringing in evidence that wasn't given in discovery, trying to catch me ill prepared. I was waiting for him. I kept my mouth shut, didn't object to leading questions that she was giving to Lieutenant Looney while on the stand. I kept my mouth shut, knowing, or possibly knowing, that they would show one of my videos, which I never got. And in my prior motions, I asked for the videos. I asked for my own property. I asked for all discovery that I knew was out there and that they were going to use. And I didn't get any of it. They gave me broken links that I couldn't access the video files on the West Virginia State Police website, forensics website. So, magistrate, where are you going to go with this? How are you going to handle it? Like I said, I bunched up your underwear. It's up the butt crack right now. It ain't smelling too good. You might need to change that. You know, maybe change your underwear, because I think you just shit in it. or your Depends. I don't know if you wear Depends. You're a pretty old guy, but nothing against your age. I'm about there myself.
So what is the date you sent these last motions?
This motion is going to be sent out tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay.
Motion to dismiss, because again, I haven't heard back for a new trial date. So I want to hit them hard before they even give me a trial date, because knowing them, they'll give me a trial date next week, right?
Sure.
I need
And
to
how
get
long
this.
it's been since he said he was going to set a new trial date?
The disqualification motion to the circuit court was over 3 months ago. I just got
No
it back
answer on
a
that.
couple weeks ago.
And no answer on nothing.
No. They have 5 days to respond to my motion to disqualify the magistrate. It took 2 months. And I had to call the judge in order to fucking get it. They gave me the excuse it was too long. It was too long. That's why he didn't do it in a timely fashion. Good to see you, Too Tall.
The motion was too long.
The motion was too long for the circuit court judge to read in a timely fashion. 5 days.
It's a attention span thing.
Yeah, but that was I called him on a Thursday, and she said that the motion was on his desk now, so he had enough time between Thursday and Friday to read it and answer it. I'm sorry, Wednesday, Thursday. I got the fucking response in the mail on Friday. Which is kind of fucking crazy if they were using the excuse it was too long. Then how did you read it from Wednesday, Thursday, and give me a response on Friday?
Yeah, go through the mail in one day. No.
In one day.
Yeah. Bullshit.
So after that came down, it gets sent back to the magistrate judge, the magistrate's office, and they have 5 days to set a new trial. It's been 2 weeks. So what the fuck is going on down there in McDowell County, I ask?
Like I said, it might as well be Hooterville.
Hooterville, right. Hooterville sounds fun because of Hooters, but, Whoville, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. So the fact is I think that they don't know what to do when I released that video. The judge can't be privy to it, but he has to be privy to it because it's a contempt. He can't watch that video because it's ex parte communication. Now, DC Accuracy or Mayo Transparency emailed Miss Brittany Fuckett Puckett and referenced the video and asked her a bunch of questions via email. I know Miss Fuckett Puckett's watched it. Hi, Miss Fuckett Puckett. I know Trooper Ricky Bobby Sue Jones is watching it. Hi. You're probably Martin II, aren't you? Trooper Ricky Bobby Sue Jones. Giving me a thumbs down.
So did Mayo get a response?
I haven't talked to him since.
Oh, okay.
I haven't talked to him since.
Probably no response.
Talked to him via.
He probably would talk to you.
I talked to him via phone probably every 3 months or so. We met with Blind Justice, me and DC Accuracy, and he's been a really good friend, I guess you could call him.
Yeah, he just ain't been posting nothing for quite a while.
Yeah, he's busy. He's just a very busy guy. So, are you going to drop the case, Miss Fuckett Puckett, with a PH? Puckett, PH, Fuckett, or should I say Fouquet Puckett? That's French, Randy.
Paquet.
Richard.
I got a
Fouquet.
question for you, Tugger. Is this Trooper Jones that's in your McDowell County case? That's what his case is, right? McDowell County?
Correct. It's the only case I have left.
Is this the same Trooper Jones that's in the civil rights lawyers video today? Because he's got a McDowell County state. Well, I know they're state, but it's in McDowell County.
No, the barracks is in Elkins. He's a state trooper out of Elkins.
What, the one that was in the one that's in the civil rights lawyers video today? Trooper Jones.
I didn't see it yet. Let me look. Let me see.
Okay.
And Jersey Watcher's up. Okay.
Because that took place in McDowell County.
Yes. You know, my deep throat down in McDowell County talked about this case.
Okay.
Welcome back to the.
I'm going to show this video of John Bryant, and let me tell you. Hey, Richard, I love that fucking picture. I got that one. I got it on a T-shirt that they complained about in Randolph County. But, so my deep throat from McDowell. See, I get deep throats everywhere. My deep throat from McDowell County tells me that Ricky Bobby Sue Jones is part of the fucking task force that shot that motherfucker in the head. I didn't believe it.
Nah.
Yes.
He's specifically mentioned in the video that you're about to show.
So everything about what I've said about Trooper Jones being a rogue fucking agent is true, isn't it?
Well, you know, they got to spend time looking at girls in the showers. They got to have time to do that.
So let's watch
John.
John Bryan. I'm going to reference you and have everybody go to your channel to get you paid, brother, to get you paid. I ain't about thieving anybody else's work. Okay? So don't sue me, please. Represent me, but don't sue me. I don't want to be sued by you. Then I'd have to write motions against you, and I don't want to fuck you up. That is funny, isn't it? Richard laughed at that one. I don't want to have to fucking depose you, okay? So, you know, I'm going to show your video because it is pertinent to my case, and I heard about this 8 months ago. My deep throat and I were talking. He said, you got to hear this one. And I said, what? He said, Ricky Bobby Sue Jones was in the SWAT team that shot that dude in the head. I said, no. He said, yeah, but I haven't heard anything since. So let's go ahead and watch this, shall we? Go ahead, anybody? Who was that?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Channel. Do you remember when I told you about my client's case over a year ago? On March 10th, the West Virginia State Police Special Response Team executed a search warrant in McDowell County, West Virginia, and shot 21-year-old Darius Lester multiple times. Yesterday, I went and met Darius and his family and examined the scene of the shooting. The truth is far from what the state police gave to the news media. So the SWAT team shot my client who died sleeping, and in an attempt to justify their behavior, they alleged that he came at them with a hammer, and they charged him with a felony for that. And then I did an update video telling you the great news that the criminal charges against him had been dropped. The criminal case has now been beaten. A local magistrate judge who heard the evidence at a hearing this week and determined that there was insufficient evidence for the charges to continue. Well, now, right just days before the 1 year mark from the date that my client was shot, new criminal charges, unbelievably, have been filed by the government.
Oh, shit. Really?
This is the most outrageous case that you've never heard about. Really, it should be national news. My client, 21-year-old at the time, Darius Lester, he's laying on a couch sleeping well inside this house. He's completely innocent, not suspected of having committed any crime. Unbeknownst to him, the West Virginia State Police SWAT team shows up just before sunrise to execute a search warrant. He knows nothing about this. He's unrelated to the allegations. What happens is they come in and they end up shooting him twice. Their allegation is that he tried to attack them with a hammer. This is specifically what the West Virginia State Police told the news media. At about 5:45 a.m., members of the West Virginia State Police SRT, acting in cooperation with the FBI, served the search warrant at the residence of Jeremy Lester. Upon entry, members were confronted by Darius Lester, 22, of Big Sandy, who was armed and attempted to attack the members with a hammer. Members engaged the suspect and shots were fired, stopping the threat. First aid was administered on scene until EMS arrived. Darius Lester was transported to Raleigh General Hospital for his injuries. So, laughably, in their press release to the news media, they just claim that Darius was a guy who was armed and attempted to attack this SWAT team with a hammer. That's what they said. So I went out there and interviewed witnesses myself, visited the scene myself, and that's not all what happened. Not at all what happened. And here's what really happened. Darius had been asleep on a couch in the home's living room where he liked to sleep. Darius was unarmed at the time that he was shot and was still on his bed, as indicated by the pool of blood on and underneath the couch where he was sleeping, which I looked at yesterday. Darius had no criminal record. He was not under arrest. He was not suspected of having committed any crime. He was merely sleeping on the couch in a house where police were executing a search warrant completely unrelated to him. Darius works as a coal truck driver. He works the night shift, so he had just gotten off work at around 4 a.m. He then went to sleep shortly after getting home. Then sometime just after 5 a.m., the state police SWAT team showed up, and inside the house, everybody was asleep, including Darius. Their story has changed a couple of times already, but now we have a more thorough police report. This is, I guess, what they're going with. After announcing multiple times, a member of the West Virginia State Police SRT, that special response team,
You know what's funny? They
RAM tool. Trooper.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Who said that? Did somebody want to say something?
That was me, and that was an accident. Sorry.
Oh, okay. And this is J.I. Jones, Randy.
So that's not the same one?
No, the trooper that I'm talking about is Ricky Jones.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Here we go. But he's a senior trooper. So I wonder if his nickname is Ricky. And I don't know if he would use Ricky on a affidavit or not.
That's what I was wondering, because it was there's a lot of Joneses out there, I imagine, but this was McDowell County too. So
yeah, and it's strange you would have two Joneses at the same barracks or station. There is a station down there, but this is the SRT team. So I don't know if it would be coordinated through that local post. I would imagine. But okay, we'll finish up with this.
J.I. Jones entered the interior of the residence first, in a position commonly referred to as point, followed by the remaining West Virginia State Police SRT members. Each of the members continued to verbally announce a state police search warrant as they entered the residence. Senior Trooper J.I. Jones and other SRT members began searching for anyone or anything that could pose a potential danger. In doing so, SRT members began clearing one area of the interior of the residence and then moving to the next area. As Senior Trooper J.I. Jones advanced through the interior of the residence, he encountered an individual later identified as Darius Lester approaching him. Upon seeing Darius Lester, Senior Trooper J.I. Jones commanded him to get on the ground. Darius Lester continued to move toward Senior Trooper J.I. Jones, yelling and refusing to comply with Jones's commands. Darius Lester stopped at one point within feet of where Senior Trooper J.I. Jones was positioned. Darius Lester positioned himself in a, quote, bladed stance, with his left side facing Senior Trooper J.I. Jones, continuing to scream in a loud, incoherent manner. At that point, Darius Lester, armed with a large hammer, lunged toward Senior Trooper J.I. Jones. Darius Lester
Thor
attempted
came at him.
to strike Senior Trooper J.I. Jones by swinging his
Maybe that's
right arm
G.I.
in an
Joe.
overhead
G.I.
downward
Joe.
motion at him. Senior Trooper Jones fired 2 quick shots from his West Virginia State Police issued Sig Sauer MPX 9mm firearm in succession at Darius Lester to protect himself from injury or death. Darius Lester sustained 2 gunshot wounds to his upper torso and left arm, causing him to drop the hammer from his hand. Darius Lester dropped to the residence floor and continued to refuse to comply with Senior Trooper Jones's commands to lay face down. Senior Trooper Jones continued to direct his duty weapon at Darius Lester due to him, Lester's, continuing to resist and gain an upright stance. Senior Trooper Jones utilized the muzzle of his duty weapon to deliver a strike to Darius Lester to gain his compliance. The strike contacted Darius Lester in the facial area, causing him to eventually fall to the floor. Senior Trooper Jones held Darius Lester on the residence floor until he calmed and the remaining areas of the residence could be secured. At that point, Senior Trooper Jones assessed Darius Lester's injuries and administered immediate first aid treatment by placing a tourniquet on Lester's left arm. So which is it? Did they bust in and shoot Darius as he's sleeping inside the house? Or did Darius confront them and proceed towards them with a hammer and try to kill them with a hammer and refuse orders to drop the hammer and then fight them some more? Well, on the one hand, we have the state police who originally charged Darius with the felony of attacking a police officer with the hammer and trying to kill him, and had their opportunity to have their day in court, to have their witnesses testify, to present evidence, just to meet the bare probable cause standard to continue these felony charges against Darius.
Yeah, which I never
and
got
they
the
failed.
opportunity.
They failed to present any probable cause. The magistrate dismissed the charge against them. The state police opted not to have any body cam footage of what happened. So we have to take their word for it, of course. They've hid the name of the shooter this
No
entire
cam
time.
footage.
We've
Sound
been able to
familiar?
identify the shooter. They waited an entire year to file these new charges. They have opted to keep information from Darius. We filed multiple FOIA requests, which have been denied on the ground.
I know about them FOIA requests.
On the other hand, we have the undisputed evidence at the scene that shows where the police came through the front door. And then it shows where they attacked Darius. It shows the pool of blood at the couch
That's why you have
on which
body
Darius
cams
was
of your own in the house.
consistent with Darius's side of things. So on the one hand, you have an armored SWAT team. We don't even know how many of them coming in the house. And then on the other hand, you have completely unarmed, completely innocent, no criminal history, Darius, who is shot twice, blood all around the bed he was sleeping in. Gee, I wonder who's telling the truth. So they had originally charged Darius with the felony offense of attempt to commit felony malicious wounding. Then they lost on those charges. Now they refiled 2 misdemeanors, and there's a 1-year statute of limitations for the state to charge misdemeanor crimes in West Virginia. 1, assault, not even battery, misdemeanor assault. Then they also charge misdemeanor brandishing of a deadly weapon / threatening or causing breach of the peace. Now, the deadly weapon obviously is the hammer. And as I explained before, why did they do this? It has nothing to do with justice. I mean, they're the ones.
No shit.
Was innocent. He wasn't even suspected of having committed any crime. They shot him, and to cover their own butts, they are trying to get something, anything, any sort of conviction against Darius. Why? Because they know that there's a civil rights lawsuit. They're running defense.
Bingo.
For the civil
There you
defense.
go, underground.
From the future civil lawsuit by abusing and misusing the criminal justice system. So they shot him, and then they're prosecuting him so that they don't have
Because they knew I
to
would sue the
pay him
fuck out of
any
them.
compensation for what they wrongfully did to him. And as I've explained before, the reason they're doing this and the problem this potentially causes
correct.
is a state court judgment finding that somebody attacked somebody with a hammer. That has to be respected in any subsequent federal court proceeding. So obviously that is going to hurt us in a civil rights lawsuit, and that is why they're doing it. So
'Cause,
hopefully he
West
will
Virginia
still be
State Police
able
are
to
corrupt as
for
fuck.
ridiculous criminal charges. Unfortunately, it's all happening in McDowell County, which is an infamous place where Sid Hatfield was shot on the courthouse lawn. So anything is possible in McDowell County, as we can see
Hell
from
yeah.
this particular case. Subscribe both here and at the blog at
McDowell County.
thecivilrightslawyer.com.
Yes, subscribe to the Civil Rights Attorneys channel, please. Please subscribe to this man. He's doing good work.
Yeah, he'll represent you for $500 an hour.
Well, the thing is, Richard, he's in West Virginia. He's in McDowell County. He knows what these people are. I know what these people are. John, I'm going to tell you. You want to sue a hospital, John? In my case, I got a hospital to sue. That's big time money. That's not a civil rights lawsuit. That's a HIPAA violation lawsuit. Trooper Beggs recorded my whole entire medical procedure on his state police body cam, and the hospital did nothing about it. So, John, give me a call. Email me. You got my email address, John. We've communicated before. I don't like to bother you. You're a busy guy. I sent you not too long ago an email. You didn't respond, which is fine. But now let me show you something else. What? This is Ricky I. Jones's body cam. What does that say? Ricky I? Do you think that Ricky is his real name?
Slick Rick.
Or is that just a nickname that he's grown up with?
Yeah, well, I was kind of wondering that. I thought the initials sounded familiar.
R.L. Jones or it's R.I. Jones.
Slick
That
Rick.
guy was what? L? Not L. What was his name? I forget his name, but the eye works, and from my deep throat, it was the same guy.
Oh.
My deep throat said that Ricky Bobby Sue Jones was involved with that. That's what I got months ago from my deep throat down there in McDowell County.
Lots of deep throating going on.
So whenever they programmed
Probably
this,
pretty lucky for what you did get.
That's damn straight. Because he knew I was videotaping. and he had in his mind that he's going to give a lesson to all the future state troopers that want to be how to handle these fuckers. He wanted to be calm, cool, and collected. When trying to get his video of his body cam in the State Police Academy to educate on how to deal with fuckers like me.
How to suck a cock like a cop should.
All right. So, yes, it's freedom of speech on this channel, Richard. Good job. Good job.
I speak no matter where I'm at. I don't give a fuck. Courtroom, wherever.
That's the end of my presentation. Get the word out wherever you're at, please, about this case. The video of the trial.
Don't worry. Don't worry, they're watching it all.
Oh, I know they're watching it.
Bobby's watching it with popcorn. Bobby, FBI.
But they aren't going
everybody.
to pass it on. They aren't going to make it go viral. That's why I'm asking for your help
I know. I was just
in
kidding.
views, not in subscriptions, but views. I want views. So, I mean, if anybody can help me out there, that'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. The clouds have eyes. Yes. So that's the end of my show, or the StreamYard. Again, I thank everybody for
So let me
being
get
here.
this straight. As of right now, there's still no idea when the next court date is going to be.
Nope. And it's a year and 8 months, the statute of limitations, just like John said.
Okay.
Now, why is that magistrate down there fucking kicking them charges out, and the magistrate up here wouldn't even let me have an evidentiary hearing? I tried to present the evidence early on about probable cause. They didn't want to hear it.
Watching you.
And that was a probable cause hearing that this guy got the shit thrown out on. There's enough evidence that I've already presented at trial for tampering with evidence. And I took it up to the circuit court for a disqualification of the judge and the DA. That was kicked back. That's why I filed these other motions, motion to dismiss and a motion to change the venue, because I'm not going to get a fair trial in McDowell County.
Nah, you're kidding me.
No. As if I'm going to get a fair trial anywhere else down there. But hey, might as well fuck with them.
I mean, I think you're doing a great job, but man, oh man, this justice system in West Virginia is fucking crookeder and goddamn dog's hind leg.
Well, thank you, Richard. I appreciate it.
It is. These judges are corrupt. Prosecutors are corrupt. They're fucking sucking each other. They got prosecutors fucking state troopers. They got state troopers fucking everyone. Everybody's sucking, and fucking judges are giving blowjobs in the chambers.
Well,
it's a free for all.
Do you know my deep throat down in McDowell tells me that Magistrate Mitchell is under investigation for sexually abusing inmates in his chamber.
No.
Yes, allegedly.
Banging.
Allegedly. I should say.
They got, Will Fong's running again for judge.
Get the fuck out of here. The one
I
that used,
swear to God,
the one that used her position to have listen, hold on, Richard. The same judge that got kicked off the bench for using the lawyers under her houses and properties to fuck a state trooper. Or no, her boyfriend, a government employee.
This woman that's running for judge was sucking a guy's dick in the chambers.
In the chambers, that's right.
Yeah, and then used the family court judge, who is now the family court judge's house, who was the prosecutor then, house, to have sexual encounters. So they'll all be in cahoots together.
That's whenever she invited herself over for dinner and stayed for the night.
Yeah. So this is what you're dealing with in West. She has no shame.
That was a great dinner. I mean, I really love fucking bratwurst and fucking sauerkraut. Can I use your bedroom? Can I use your spare bedroom, please, for the night?
This is even better. Listen to this. The guy that turned her in, one of the guys that turned her in is the other circuit court judge, because now they got 2 circuit court judges per county in West Virginia. So the other judge one of the guys that turned her in is the other circuit court judge. So you got one let her go to the sexual encounters at the house, and the other one turned her in. Hell, they all get together in the evening and she gets voted in again. They'll probably vote her in again.
Of course they will, because she sucks a good dick.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that one.
Thank you, Richard. It's all corrupt. And I'm here to expose it fucking all. And
Elbin's running opposed. Nobody's running against Elbin.
and I'm coming after these motherfuckers legally. All of them.
I wish
I'm
you the
not
best
done.
of luck. I really
I am not done with McDowell or Randolph County.
I wish you the best of luck.
It just takes time.
I was going to go to that commissioner meeting tomorrow about that, but I think I'm just going to I'll be wasting my time, like what's his name said, because they'll just kick me out or something again. When I ask, if I ask to talk and they refuse me, then I'll just be quiet. But it'll just be a waste because they're not going to listen to me anyways. They don't give a shit. They're like, there's that pathetic motherfucker in the wheelchair. Get him out of here. That's all. They don't care. They have no shame. They have no compassion. They don't care about anybody, just money. But anyways.
Okay. Is Ricky Bobby Sue Jones J.I. Jones?
J.I. Jones.
G.I. Jane.
R.I. Jones is the same as J.I. Jones? Could it be?
I doubt it, but
I mean, J is a lot different than R.
Yep. And Jones is a very common name.
Oh yeah. There are more Joneses in the United States than there are Wangs in China.
I guess. Alias Smith and Jones.
Hey, there you go.
So, I mean, Ricky Bobby Sue Jones is a senior trooper too.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
that sounds like a girl's name.
Ricky Bobby Sue Jones?
Yeah.
Because I put the Sue in there.
Okay. My fault. Sorry. Duh.
Solowinski, name your enemy. And then name your enemy and then fucking hammer on them.
Because that's what happened. They say in that other case, they say in the state trooper got attacked by Thor.
Thor. That's funny.
So, I play these, I use multiple tactics against them. They only have one tactic and they can only use the tactics that they have. They can't publish. They can't get on YouTube. They can't do the same things that I do. I do both. I do legal and I do Solowinski, Machiavelli, and Sun Tzu, Art of War.
Hey, you want to hear a good one?
Go ahead.
I don't know if I told you this before, but I was going to run against Kiesling. David Kiesling, he's running for commissioner. So I was going to run against him just for the fuck of it. So he's running this time. So I called in. I didn't know how it worked. Well, I was registered as an independent. I don't know, or vote on some levy or something years ago. Well, anyways, she told me, I couldn't change my affiliation. And I thought, okay, I didn't know. I thought, okay, you got to change it real long ahead of time. Well, I called the state people down there, that Worthless Warners down there in Charleston. They said, oh, yeah, you could change anytime. So she told me I couldn't change, so I just never changed. I just never went in to register to run. So I could have done it. Yeah, I could have done it the whole time.
Richard, political parties are private clubs.
Yeah, but
they're not affiliated. Listen, they're not affiliated with government. They're political parties, just like the Elk Club. They're parties. They're clubs, just like the Elks or the Owl Club or the Moose Lodge or the SOI or the Betts Club. They're a private entity that you gain membership to by applying. Say again, Randy.
I said, or like the Mystic Knights of the Sea.
Right, right. Isn't it beautiful? I wonder how many mermaids they have involved in that.
I don't know. Well, that was the
But
most famous lodge I know was the Knights of the Sea.
yeah, because they chase tail, fish tail.
Guy's a comedian.
A regular balloon pump, right? I need to go on tour. But okay, I'm done for the night. It's midnight, and I thank everybody for hanging in there with me and going over this again. But you know, you have to keep at it, and the more that I keep at it, hopefully, the more awareness that people will have of my experience in McDowell County and what I'm going through, and what I've done, and hopefully that you can learn from what I've done and how I file my motions and represent myself in misdemeanor cases. I make a lot of errors. I make a lot of I mess up every once in a while, but that doesn't hurt you. As long as you don't misbehave and you know court rules, etiquette, and procedure, you'll be good to go. You could file your motions any way you want. Just try to format it properly. Even if you don't format it properly, they have to read it. You know, my motions are not formatted properly according to, what lawyers do, but they're fine. They still have to be read and they still have to be ruled on. So hopefully I help people understand how the court system will literally fuck you, even if you do everything proper. Even if you have, and this is why lawyers in misdemeanor cases won't do anything for you other than plea you out. They're only being paid to file one motion. I guess that's a rule, right? If you want me to file another motion, you got to pay me another $3,000. That's the way they work, because they want to hold you off. If you want to go at them and go ahead and appeal, then they realize they're going to make another 10 to 15 grand on you. They aren't going to want to fight in the initial trial. It is what it is. Like I said, they don't want to upset the judge because they have to be in front of the judge in cases in the future, if not in cases in real time at that time. They don't want to piss off the prosecutor because, again, the same reason, they have to work with the prosecutor. You know, you scratch my back on this one, I'll scratch your back on that one. It's unethical, but that's what they do. And that's why I videotaped my trial. I had no choice. You left me no choice, Magistrate Mitchell. I had no choice, Miss Bucket Puckett. I had no choice, Ricky Bobby Sue Jones. You left me in a position that is You left me in a position that I had no choice. And look where it's getting me. Now, apparently, I can understand why they may be delayed on my case because of more severe cases like John just showed you. Dude getting shot in the face and in the chest and then fucking hit with the fucking butt of a gun. So maybe they aren't paying as much attention to my case, but only the reason why they're paying attention is because of a lawsuit. And the same reason John gave. They have to show that I was charged and found guilty of any fucking thing. And it ruins my chance of suing civilly. But that's in a 1983 civil rights lawsuit, not in a suing of a county hospital for privacy breaches of my medical records. So on that note, thank you again for coming out, all you great people.
Okay, Tugger.
I really appreciate you being here and hearing me out. I love you all. And thanks, Cajun Randy, for being up on the panel. Jack Up Jack and Nat and Too Tall and Creole. Man, I haven't seen Creole in a long time. Howard Clegg, Chain Weaver, John D. Nicola, the smartest man on the internet when it comes to law. Fucking sharp as a tack, man. Deep Eye Freedom, good to see you. Brett, good to see you. Joe Cole was in here for a while. I'm sure he's still watching, even though he ain't commenting. Oregon Rogue, Thin Blue Lion Slayer, my brother. Good to see you. And that's pretty much about it. See ya. Bye.